Good evening, everyone. My name is Laura Schifrin, and I will call the meeting to order of the Select Board on November 5th at 5:01 p.m. Roll call.
Veronica Cal present.
Valerie Goodrich present.
And Laura Schifrin present. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank all of our veterans, as well as all of our military serving here and abroad, all of our emergency response individuals, all of our elected and appointed officials, as well as their families who help contribute to our town. They are much appreciated. The meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube. Is anyone else recording? No one has acknowledged. I do not have any additions or deletions to the agenda that was posted. 1.5, review and approve the meeting minutes of 10/21 and 2025. I would just like to, and 10/28/25. I would like to just remind you that you say your name, and I move that before speaking.
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the meeting minutes for 10/21/2025 and 10/28/2025.
Can we take them separately if there are any edits? Okay, can we go back and just do the first one?
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the meeting minutes from 10/21/2025.
Veronica Cal second.
Okay, discussion.
I would like to make some edits to this. I would like to remove the sentence in 1.5, the very first sentence, about Valerie noting about us having to say our name, what you just said, essentially. I would like to remove that. I don't think that is necessary. Same sentence further on, where Valerie notes excitement. I don't think we need to note excitement in the minutes. So although she's Valerie being excited is very good.
Excited a little too much in these meeting minutes. So.
In discussion for this, I have always known that meetings were more, the minutes of meetings were more action items. So your bullet points of the agenda, and then when you make a motion and have it seconded and that is recorded, and you do the recording of the vote, there is no lengthy discussion or minutes to the meeting of what people he said, she said kind of thing.
Right.
It's more of a summary,
so that was my
summary of the
understanding.
discussion.
Yeah, but here it's like every word is stated, and I'm not sure those are actual minutes to have people's opinions. If you look at the minutes of the town meetings that we have, you don't have verbatim what the people have said. It's a motion, a seconded, discussion was held, and then the vote was done. So what, Nelson, is your opinion of how we should do this going forward? This is a lot of time consuming for staff and for us to read editing. Yeah. When you have a video for a lifetime there. Yeah. So action items.
I do think it could be reduced in size, these meeting minutes. We are utilizing AI to sort of,
which we have to double check because they are wrong many times.
Yep. So we're trying to speed up the process. So I think AI is, being more thorough than what we would like. So I'll talk to Sabrina to see if there's any way that we
condense it.
Yeah. I do think the information is, pretty good in here, but I think the amount of extraneous information can be reduced. So I'll talk to Sabrina and see if we can get the AI software to, be a little bit more concise.
Okay, comments from the board?
Yeah, I would say too that it becomes a little tricky when someone compares these meeting minutes to meeting minutes where it's not being used, because it would be impossible for someone who is clerking the minutes at a meeting to have anywhere near this level of detail.
Mhm.
So if AI wasn't being used, and say I was doing the minutes for an executive session, they would not be near as, because this is basically, I would be writing the entire time and
Like a
not
stenographer.
participating in the executive session itself.
Yeah.
So they would, there's no way they would be able to be this verbose.
That's a good way
I
to
mean,
put
court
it.
stenographer is one thing.
What's that?
A court stenographer
Yeah.
is one thing.
Right, this is
You do
not,
every word.
yeah, this is not that.
This is not
Correct,
that.
correct.
Okay, so I guess you have direction, and do you think that there's any motion that's needed for that direction, or are we good?
No, we're good.
We're good.
I'll talk
Okay.
to Sabrina.
I have more changes.
Okay, go ahead.
A lot more, since it was 7 pages of minutes,
Yeah.
Okay,
and I read them.
Yeah.
4.5, Nelson Wee reported on his meeting, not at his meeting. Going further down, where we made the motions for the 2 MOAs, I thought there should be a sentence saying that for the first one with the supervisors union, the content of the memorandum was not hiring a land use coordinator, and the content of the second motion was not filling a vacant equipment operator position in highway. I
Yeah.
thought that should be there. Then when you get down to the bulleted items, the second bullet, non-union staff not receiving steps or COLA increases, that is true. But the second to the last bullet is covered under that second
Yeah.
bullet. Library staff agreeing not to take pay raises for FY '26. I don't think we need both of them. I think we can eliminate the
so
one
there's
about
nobody in the library that's union.
nobody in the library is union.
Okay.
I think for that one, while it might be redundant, I feel it's also good maybe for the minutes to reflect that, just to really emphasize the
I
fact
actually
that,
like it that they did it.
that the library staff. So I agree, it's kind of redundant, but it does,
They were the only ones.
it really does put emphasis on the fact that, and again, it was actually said as well. It puts emphasis on the fact that the library staff, made that, sacrifice.
I'd like to keep it. as
And we
one.
appreciate that.
Mhm.
We really do.
But
But
I did notice something that maybe we could take a look at. The one about the assistant fire chief, that is true, not filling it, but
Where are you at? 4.8? No.
we're
Oh,
still
not-
under the
It's you're in the
four
bullet.
point six. Not filling the assistant fire chief vacancy did not equate to $74,000
No.
in savings. It was,
That's what I noted
that
too.
was the
Yeah.
total.
yeah, okay, so you know that, too, okay.
Okay, moving on, 4.7, Veronica Kell suggested moving the DPW article from the March town meeting to the annual town meeting to
Yeah.
provide more time for implementation.
Did you?
There's something funky here.
I thought we had decided that, we had said that it would have to be in January if we wanted it in the
If we
budget.
wanted to make it, then this sentence needs to be redone.
I had noted that too. I said, this doesn't describe what was.
What happened, right? Okay, so then 415, it wasn't Chair Schifrin who expressed concern, it was Vice Chair Cal.
Yes.
And then going to 416, it wasn't Chair Schifrin, it was Vice Chair Cal. And in 5.2, reports from board liaisons, it was Vice Chair Cal, not Chair Schifrin, who reported on the encroachment. So,
You guys must sound a lot alike or something.
yeah, they can't
Try to
distinguish
be-
us.
And apparently I'm always enthusiastic, so.
Yes,
There
you
you
are
go.
very enthusiastic. Someone needs to be, so
I was like,
it's
okay.
good, but we don't need to note it in the
No,
meeting.
we don't need to
No,
know that.
that's, okay, so those are my changes, and I will submit them to, Sabrina.
I had very similar ones and I think we touched on the only one that was different, so.
Okay,
Okay,
so, I would,
if we're done with the discussion
mhm.
on
10:21?
10:21.
So I would
amend the
suggest
motion.
Veronica Cal would suggest that we amend the motion to include the changes that were noted.
Seconded.
And
Who are
who
you?
are you?
Valerie Goodrich, seconded. Sorry.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Roll call vote.
Right. Roll call vote. You're not the only one.
I don't know. Be enthusiastic, Laura. Be enthusiastic.
Sorry.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right.
We have our 5:10 is here and it's now 5:11. So. 7.1, executive session pursuant to open meeting law, chapter 30A, section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions in the preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel or contract negotiations with non-union personnel, fire chief. I, Laura Schifrin, move to enter into executive session at 5:12 p.m. pursuant to open meeting law, chapter 30A, section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel or contract negotiations with non-union personnel, fire chief. The select board will return to open session after the executive session and adjourn in the open meeting. Is there a second?
Veronica Kell, second.
Roll call vote.
Veronica Kell, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
And Laura Schifrin, aye. Thank you, Hartley.
Hartley, we are gonna exit.
Have to do the 10:28 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we did do the.
That
Hartley?
seemed better. Am I correct?
Nope, it's recording. It was muted. Yep, okay, we're good.
Are we good?
Yep, we're recording.
Okay, we are back now at 6:20 p.m. And we are on 1.5 to approve minutes for 10/28/25. Is there a motion?
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the meeting minutes for 10/28/2025.
Veronica Kell, second.
Okay, and is there discussion on the 10/28 minutes?
I have none.
Nope, I have none either. Roll call vote.
Veronica Kell, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
And Laura Schifrin, aye. Okay, that's the easiest so far. We have no appointments or hearings. 3, appointments of officials, personnel. 3.1, is there a motion?
I move that we appoint Irene Condon to the recycling committee effective. Sorry, let me start that again.
Yes, please.
Excuse me. I, Valerie Goodrich, move that we appoint Irene Condon to the recycling committee effective 11/05/2025 until 6/30/2028.
Is there a second?
Veronica Kell, second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote.
Veronica Kell, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 3.2, is there a motion?
I, Valerie Goodrich, move that we appoint Sally Coyview, sorry, Sally, to the recycling committee effective 11/05/2025 until 6/30/2027.
Veronica Kell, second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote.
Veronica Kell, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 3.3, is there a motion?
I move that we reappoint Lyndon Durrett to the Cultural Council. Sorry. I, Valerie Goodrich, move that we reappoint Linda Durrett to the Cultural Council effective 11/05/2025 until 6/30/2028.
Veronica Kell, second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote.
Veronica Kell, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 3.4, is there a motion?
I, Valerie Goodrich, move that we appoint Dave Chanel to the Zoning Board of Appeals effective 11/05/2025 until 6/30/2026.
Before I second that, is he being appointed as an associate member or a full member? I thought it was associate member
I thought it was associate too.
Let me just open it up here.
because I watched that meeting.
And he said, it's an associate position, isn't it?
Yeah.
I saw the meeting too.
It's on his volunteer response form, it says associate,
Mhm.
and then let's just double check.
He said it in the meeting.
2 members. The public notice just says, yes, it says 2 associate members. Let me change that motion.
Thank you.
I, Valerie Goodrich, move that we appoint Dave Chanel as an alternate to the Zoning Board of Appeals effective 11/05.
Not as an alternate, but as an associate
An
member.
associate member to the Zoning Board of Appeals effective 11/05/2025 until 6/30/2026.
Veronica Cal second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
And Laura Schifrin, aye. Thank you, and thank you to all of those people who were just appointed for helping us out. Sorry, I didn't see this part until now.
Yeah,
Do you have those ready?
yeah, they're in
Yeah, they're
SharePoint.
in the SharePoint.
Oh. And we're not supposed to read them?
No.
No, you don't
Don't
have
have
to. Nope.
Okay, okay, 4.1 through 4.6.
We have to do each one separately.
4.1, is there a motion?
Um,
Hi, Valerie.
yeah. Do we just need to approve the response? Or acknowledge the
I
Do we
think
acknowledge and then
that we
respond?
move to approve the open meeting law,
I thought we moved,
alleged violation complaint response.
oh, response.
Subject to final comments
Yeah.
and review by the town administrator.
Yes, I can.
Fine.
I, Valerie Goodrich, move that we. Let me think about this.
I would put alleged violation complaint response is how I would word it. Different from what's here.
Violation Response.
With the alleged complaint response.
So I'm not actually making a motion.
Oh, it's complaint alleged.
I move to
violation.
approve the open meeting law complaint alleged violation response, subject to final comments and review by the town administrator / town council.
And we might want to put the date in there.
Mhm,
No, yeah, that's what my
for each one.
flag was.
Okay.
Okay. So 4.1, I, Valerie Goodrich, move that we approve the open meeting law complaint alleged violation response for September 25th, 2025, received in the town clerk's office 10/24/2025, subject to final comments and review by the town administrator or as needed town council.
Veronica Cal second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 4.2,
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the open meeting law complaint alleged violation response for the violation dated 10/21/2025, received in town clerk's office 10/24/2025, subject to final comments and review by the town administrator or as needed town council.
Veronica Cal second.
any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 4.3,
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the open meeting law complaint alleged violation response for the date 9/25/2025, received in the town clerk's office 10/22/2025, subject to final comments and review by the town administrator and or town council.
Veronica Cal second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffern, aye.
Nope, 4.4, right?
4.4,
Mhm.
is there a motion?
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the open meeting law complaint alleged violation response for 10/21/2025, received in the town clerk's office 10/22/2025, subject to final comments and review by the town administrator or and as needed town council.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffern, aye. 4.5,
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the open meeting law complaint alleged violation response dated 10/07/2025, received in the town clerk's office 10/24/2025, subject to final comments and review by the town administrator and or town council as needed.
is there a second?
Veronica Cal second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffern, aye. 4.6, is there a motion?
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the open meeting law complaint alleged violation response dated 9/30/2025, received in the town clerk's office 10/24/2025, subject to final comments and review by the town administrator and or town council.
Veronica Cal second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffern, aye. 4.7, setting of select board meeting dates from January 2026 to June 2026. Is there a motion?
Do you guys just want to talk about it first before making the motion? It might be more
Yeah,
productive with time.
I actually just, I thought I had it all written out and I didn't bring my piece of paper that had it all written out because I had gone through the calendar.
Do you mean this, or do you mean you wrote for yourself,
Oh,
whether you
I
could
wrote
make
it
it or
for
not?
myself. Okay, wait a minute, sorry.
You mean-
4.7. Let me just pull it out. Okay. Okay, so you have this 4.7 with the dates here. Does anyone need any changes?
I don't need any changes. The only question I had was, when's school vacation week? Although that might not matter to any of us at this point. So, and I don't have anything planned for any of these times, so I'm good with this, and then we can,
TBD.
yeah, I mean, and typically I do assume the first and the third Tuesday.
Okay, so I think at this point, I'm good, and if I'm not,
We can
I can
change
do
later.
Zoom, or we could, one never knows what happens tomorrow. So is there a motion?
I move that, I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the select board meeting dates from January 2022 to June 2026 as follows. January 6th, January 20th, February 3rd, February 17th, March 3rd, March 17th, April 7th, April 21st, May 5th, May 19th, June 2nd, June 16th.
Is there a second?
Veronica Cal second.
Any further discussion?
I just want to note that it's the first and third Tuesday of the month.
Okay. And I will note that sometimes that changes. But you'll be informed at least 48 hours before. Okay,
Roll call vote.
4.8.
Wait,
Need
roll
to make
call
a
vote.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. I get too excited. I keep moving. So there was discussion, roll call vote, please.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 4.8, is there a motion? Holiday schedule.
Have Valerie Goodrich move to approve the 2026 town holiday schedule as read.
When I looked in it wasn't here the last
I
time.
have it right, I have it pulled up.
Let me grab it.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about it because
They all seem pretty straightforward.
the question is that some of these are noted in the contracts. And I just want to make sure that the contracts are taken into mind so that there aren't state holiday. Is that what we're looking at? Just the mass state holidays?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's, the motion is for 2026, but the list is for 3 years.
You're just,
Oh, okay,
you're
okay,
just,
okay,
you're
okay.
just looking at the
26.
26, all right, so I'm good with this. Because that's typically what we follow, right? I don't think there's anything unusual there.
So let me do the as read part.
Yeah.
It would be January 1st, 2026, January 19th, 2026. So we move it there for Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Mhm.
February 16th, 2026 is Washington's birthday. April 20th, 2026 is Patriots Day. May 25th, 2026 is Memorial Day. June 19th, 2026 is Juneteenth Day. July 4th, 2026, Independence Day, which is a Saturday this year. I don't know if that,
So
We would
it's,
observe it the prior Friday,
so in this
prior.
case, that would be for July 3rd, 2026. Which makes sure that
And
this.
Saturday is the 4th.
Mhm.
I
So-
don't have June on my paperwork.
Not yet.
What does June say?
Juneteenth, June 19th.
which is the day on the day.
So the only one that changed so far was July 3rd, which is the Friday. September 7th, 2026 is Labor Day. October 12th, 2026 is Columbus Day. November 11th, 2026 is Veterans Day. And then November 26th, 2026, Thanksgiving. And December 25th, 2026 is Christmas Day.
Veronica Cal second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. Okay, so next we have 4.9. Is there a motion?
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to close the town hall on the day after Thanksgiving, 11/28/2025, and close the town hall at noon on December 24th, 2025, and close the town hall at noon on December 23rd, December 31st, 2025. Move to leave the town hall open the day before Veterans Day on 11/10/2025.
Is there a second?
I will second, but I want to talk about it.
Okay.
Because there are some unions, and I thought that, I know when I was a selectman before, we had discussed making it consistent across unions. That it would be, so I think clerical and supervisors, and this is actually in Melissa's email. Clerical and supervisors have a half day off before Thanksgiving and the
Correct.
day after Thanksgiving off.
11/29.
But I don't know that other unions do. And when it's not in the union contract, employees that don't have it in their contracts have to take either
PTO
Vacation
or work.
work, either they have to work or they have to take time off.
Correct, so non-union staff would fall in that category. You either have to work those days or you have to take PTO.
Okay.
So we don't have the day after Thanksgiving. Oh, no, we do. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
This motion is saying we're going to close town hall on that day.
Yep.
Yeah,
but people either have to work it or they have to take time off if they cannot work. So I
So
don't
who
know
handles
how
that,
that's
Melissa?
working.
That is a payroll thing, so Melissa will police that. And that's why she sends out those emails, so that everyone
It
is
did
on,
come from
so that
Melissa.
everyone is on the same page, you
Okay.
know, and again, this is for the non-union employees that, that their contract doesn't specifically spell
But
out.
she only sent it to, I would think it would be Callie that would be sending it out, but maybe it is Melissa because she does payroll in her office. But this, it looks like this went just to you.
I think she sent a reminder out to everyone, for those holidays, that their timesheet needs to be coded correctly. So I remember doing that in the past, to like all employees.
Well, this was last year, 2024.
Yeah, it's just an example of.
Okay.
And the explanation is there.
Yep.
You know, about the unions and.
And I'm
What they need to
stating
do.
that only because when holidays have been declared that aren't approved holidays, there can be grievances for people who work 24/7 shifts saying, oh, the town added a holiday. And so we need to be careful about that.
Right.
Okay,
No, we certainly have not added anything. We're just trying to, what's the word? Be consistent, or make sure the town hall operating hours are sort of consistent with the union contracts, because most of those staff contractually have those days off. And I think just, it makes sense to just close town hall.
Rather than keep it open, but
Yeah.
I think that people have to understand that it's not a holiday unless it's in your contract, that it is a holiday.
Correct.
And that arrangements need to be made to take time off on those days.
Yep, and
Or
that's,
to work from home, or
Yep.
whatever needs to be done there.
and that's the email that Melissa typically sends out,
Okay,
so that staff realize that.
all right, just so that that's understood. So,
okay, that was the motion for 4.9, that was discussion.
why would the town hall be closed the day before Veterans Day? Is Veterans Day on a Tuesday?
No, it says leave the town hall open.
And town hall's open, okay.
Yeah.
It's open.
All right.
Specifically
Day
says
before
open.
Veterans Day.
For
Okay.
Veterans Day, we are closed. but
Yes,
that's a-
correct,
that's a
but it's
holiday.
not a,
But there is an event, right? At the VFW. I think Betty May sent it out. so.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
think there is.
on that, yeah. And just while we're at it and talking about Veterans Day, I am gonna go to the breakfast at the high school on
Okay,
Friday.
good.
So I don't know
I
if
won't be
anybody
there.
else is.
I can't do Friday morning.
Okay,
I
so
can't either.
I will be there,
Okay,
Good, thank you.
thank you for
but I will
representing us
not be there
there.
on Tuesday. So hopefully one of you are going to
I will not be here.
Veterans Day thing.
I'll
on
try and make it.
Tuesday. Okay, because I can't make that, so. All right,
Thank you, guys.
Try. I think I can.
Okay,
Gotta push something
all
out later
right,
today.
so
roll call vote,
Veronica Cal, I.
Thought we're gonna try.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 4.10. Review and discuss municipal building waste contract and residential contract and enterprise account financials questions to be sent to the Board of Health. Anticipated joint meeting. Is there a motion?
Do you want me to wait until we've had discussion on this one?
Do we want to discuss or what?
Yeah, well, I'd like to have, I mean, if it's okay with you guys, I'd like to have Nelson speak to the contract, the municipal contract.
So we did receive a proposal from GW Shaw for the municipal buildings. I don't think it was anything that we weren't expecting, because originally way back in the spring or summertime when he had the full contract of everything, this municipal portion was part of that proposal. So he just took it out and made it, you know, a separate contract, which makes a lot of sense because you don't want to muddy the waters with the curbside residential contract. So I don't, the rate is exactly what I expected it to be, so I think all that we need to do now is send it to town council for review. The Board of Health would also need to sign off on it too, but I think, you guys can probably make a motion to approve it out of session contingent on, town council approval.
So would you like to make that motion and then discuss the rest of the contract, the other part of
The agenda item, because there's a lot more to it.
yeah, why don't we do the,
Yeah, just the
Contract
contract
first.
first.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, because I looked at it and I think you're right, it was provided in notes and stuff. I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the municipal building waste contract contingent upon review and approval of Board of Health, Town Council, and Town Accountant,
And sign out of session.
and sign out of session.
Veronica Cal second.
Discussion.
The discussion is that on here, it says that this is from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2027, but it's a 3-year
Fiscal.
contract. So
Fiscal year 26, 27, and 28.
then this should be June 30th, 2028, not 2027.
Something like that.
And so that's an error in here.
Yep, I'll have it changed.
And that needs to be fixed, yeah.
And just so everyone listening is clear, this is for the municipal buildings,
Correct.
Nothing.
Town buildings,
nothing to do with the residential.
correct.
The signature page also has to be fixed because it has the year 2024.
Yep.
I noted
Let me
that.
just look at this, because this is we're here to sign, and it's incorrect, so we won't be signing it. Let me get that back to you.
Yeah, town council needs to look at it first.
So it needs to be reviewed by town council, and the errors that we pointed out need to be
Address.
addressed.
Do we vote on it?
Hey, no, we do not.
Okay,
That was,
sorry, I
that was
wasn't sure.
discussion.
Just making sure.
Okay, so if we're done with discussion on the contract, on the motion for the contract, per contingent upon town council review, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. Okay, so that's that part of this 4.9, excuse me, 10. Questions to be sent to the Board of Health regarding anticipated joint meeting.
I have them here.
So I did, you have my questions?
At
Okay,
least 11, 20, 25, yeah. There's 3 of them, yeah.
3 of them,
Yeah.
yes, questions for joint meeting on December 9th. So, I had, as you know, I've had questions about this all along. You are looking at it online, okay. So, my questions are different after getting what I did from Liz, from CBIZ, our town accountant, because, she did put into, what I was looking for was this projection. So I don't know if you guys looked at
Yeah.
this. So, and if you looked at the contract that Nelson sent, at least I got it, I don't know if everybody else got it, for residential. There's a significant
everybody got it.
increase, and that begins July of 2026. For FY 27, smaller increase for the next year, but I'm more concerned about FY 27 because that's what is being budgeted. So if you looked at this, you can see that as of the end of July, the enterprise fund is in the hole by $15,000. So in any event, and I do have questions about the residential, but we're not discussing that contract tonight, correct?
Correct.
Or voting on it. But all in all, it seems pretty solid. But because of the combination of the monthly projections and the contract, my questions are, what period of time is covered with the $125 people paid for trash pickup? Meaning, are people thinking that is the Board of Health thinking that that 125 just covered the fiscal year, which means till June 30th, 2026, or the calendar year, which was from September 1st up to the next September 1st? I made my own little informal poll of people that I know, and people are thinking it's through the end of August. And so, first question is, what period of time did people pay for? The second
And when
question,
do they pay again?
well, yeah, that's the second question, pretty
Okay.
much, and how much? Recognizing that the tipping fees, which are an expense, and the pay-as-you-throw bag fees, which is income, must be monitored, and it must be, because these are projections based on what was provided at town meeting. At what point does the Board of Health expect to set the next rate for trash pickup covered by the enterprise fund? And note that the rate for residential trash pickup in the proposed G.W. Shaw contract increases significantly by 20 to 25% on July 1st, 2026. And then number 3 is, given that the trash program is not supported by tax dollars, how will a deficit in the enterprise fund be covered by the Board of Health and the trash takers?
Mhm.
So those are my 3 questions.
Did we get the
So-
tonnage yet for
No,
September?
not as far as I know. I don't know that the Board of Health didn't have it in their meeting,
Okay, well, maybe
which
they'll
was
have
what,
it for
last week or
December.
whatever.
For the
They
December
should
joint.
have it, because by contract,
So
it has to be
tonnage.
provided by a certain period of time in the month in the residential contract. And so I assume they're gonna have probably only, well, they should have September and October come November, and they didn't have anything.
They've given us August already?
August was on
Oh,
a
it started
full price
September 1st,
contract, so,
Right,
no.
we paid for
It wasn't a
July and August.
thing. So I just want to know how it is. My concern is that tax dollars cannot be spent on residential trash pickup, and that was
Yeah,
the bargain that was struck in town meeting. And
and we have a.
And data can tell you what it is. Now, granted, we won't have data for tipping fees and pay-as-you-throw, but at some point, someone needs to take a good look at this and have a thoughtful conversation about it, not just, hey, the Board of Selectmen wants numbers, so here you go, here's the numbers. We are not the ones that are, we are the deciders in the end, but the Board of Health would like to be, and so they need to pay attention to this. Because from where I sit, and the numbers that I see, which again, we don't have all the numbers, we don't know the numbers yet, but at what period of time is the Board of Health gonna say, okay, how are we gonna make up for the, 20 to 25% increase in pickup? How, maybe the numbers are gonna all fall out and be
Mhm.
beautiful.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I
That's what we
think,
hope.
I think the base fee in year 2, it's not some gigantic increase that you
It's
think.
from $399 to $493.
But here's the thing though, that $399 was September onward. You have to also take into account July, if July and August were part of that flat fee.
But they're not.
But what I'm saying is, if, because part of their original proposal during the springtime, that flat base fee from year 1 to year 2 was
Covered with stabilization.
No, I'm just saying that the fee itself, it was a modest jump from year 1 to year 2. So I think you need to really take that into account. It's really not like a 25% jump when you think about it.
If you subtract those first 2 months out, or put them in and pretend that they were being.
Correct.
But if you look at the flat rate that 125 is supposed to cover, you are looking at in just the pickup. So in other words, I'm not offsetting those first 2 months of the fiscal year. That's true. So maybe we can take out the 20 to 25% and say it's a $93,000 increase from one year to the next, which makes a difference in the monthly amount that is charged for the pickup. And that's what I'm getting at. The $399 is our, 40,000 a month for this year, which ends July 1st, well, June 30th. It ends, and then we have a 93,000 roughly increase between here and there on the amount that we are going to be paying monthly, or that the trash takers.
Annually,
Are
right?
gonna be
93 is for the year.
Yes, the 93K is for the year, but it's a monthly
Yeah, so it'd be
increase.
7,750.
Right, roughly 20 to 25% of the 40K.
And how many folks are on the program right now?
22,100 or something like that. I don't
You mean
remember.
2,200?
2,200.
2,200, yeah.
22,000 would be awesome.
Two,
If that was divided
Yeah.
equally, it would be like a $40 increase next year.
for just that. But then you have to look at
To
the
each
fact
household.
that we have to pay for July and August. July and August are lost in the
Yeah.
125.
I just divide that over 12 months is what I did. So from
Yes.
July to July.
So yeah, but except that July and August aren't covered with the rate that was taken, and that's this.
Right.
If you look at this, July and August don't get covered in the budget that was set. And the variables are, what are the tipping fees and what are the pay as you throw? And when I did my numbers, I made those equal. In best case scenario, they're equal, they offset, and you're good. But what if the tipping fees come in higher than the amount of the pay as you throw? Then you're not golden. If the pay as you throw amount comes in higher than the tipping, then you are golden.
Yeah.
And we just don't know yet. So someone needs to be paying attention, and a determination has to be made. Because if you're not taking taxpayer dollars and there's a deficit, where is it coming from? And I think people also have to recognize that the rate will change for the next year.
Unless that balance is amazing.
Yeah, which would be great.
Would be
It
awesome.
would be great. I just don't know. I don't think anybody does at this point.
Okay, Nelson, do you have enough to get the questions to Carla for the joint meeting?
And do you guys have other questions?
So that
I
covers.
just want the tonnage.
Yeah.
I just added the
Okay,
tonnage.
It's that
so-
balance between the tonnage and what you were just discussing
So what's the tonnage for
September and
versus pay
October.
as you throw
September?
revenue.
I mean, we're gonna meet in December, so.
Yeah, and they wanted these questions by November 12th,
Right, so
which is what they said in the
we could
meeting.
add November.
September and
September,
October even.
October, and
September, well, yeah, I said September, October, and November.
if they have it, they may not have it because their meeting is
So
less
just
than
that
nine.
difference between the pay as you
Yeah.
throw and the tonnage.
And the pay as you throw
Hopefully it's
for
great.
September and October.
Hopefully it's awesome.
Yeah, that's what we need. So, nothing else? And you guys are good with my 3 questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
You good, Nelson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, you want this?
Sure. It was a PDF, so I couldn't add it.
Oh,
In real
put it
time.
in as a PDF. Okay, sorry.
That's fine.
I thought I put it in maybe I didn't put that one in as both.
Okay, 4.11. Is there a motion?
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the intermunicipal agreement for police department social work services with the Community Outreach Initiative Network, COIN, and authorize the town administrator to sign on the select board's behalf.
Is there
Veronica Cal second.
discussion? I would just say that this is,
Do you want to briefly explain what this is, Austin, maybe?
Yeah, so I did reach out to the police chief. He has confirmed that we do utilize this service. So the main, grant or contract is with the, town of Air. And what we're signing is a IMA, intermunicipal agreement. And other communities, including Ashby, Air, Boxborough, Dunstable, Groton, Littleton, Shirley, Townsend, and Westford are part of this. But again, the grant or contract vehicle is with with Air. So this is basically, how do I describe it? Situations where, police departments use clinicians or social workers to assist with certain police calls. Because a lot of police calls are mental health related, like the person is not well.
Panic attack.
And instead of it escalating to the point where they're like arrested and, booked, a clinician may be called on site to diffuse the situation. So it sounds like, these clinicians are moving across multiple police departments and assisting as, cases come up that, require their attention.
and they get training.
Yes.
I think it's great service.
I do too.
Yes, sometimes they call it a jail diversion program. A lot of police departments use that phrase because, again, it's instead of arresting them and throwing them into jail, they'll have the clinician, do an assessment. Maybe they need mental health services. Maybe they need to be checked into some facility. So, I hear great things about it. It really, some folks, really don't need to be arrested. They just need mental health services.
Okay. All ready to vote?
Yeah.
Roll call vote.
Veronica Cal aye.
Valerie Goodrich,
Laura Schifrin, aye.
Thank you.
V1 to sign.
Senator.
do we need to say signed by the town administrator?
I thought it was in the motion.
I thought it was in the motion too. Did
Yes.
we make the
Sorry.
I
motion?
thought I heard you say, yeah, and it was seconded.
Yes.
And then we
Okay.
discussed.
Just making sure.
All right.
It's already a long night.
So yeah, it's only one signature for the town.
Yes.
council.
4.12. Was there a motion?
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the name change of RTJ Concessions, Inc. to Elm Street Creamery, Inc., DBA The Ice Cream Factory as of 10/23/2025 and reflected in the 2026 Common
Vittler. Yes, just like Fiddler. Vickler. I looked it
Vickler
up.
license
I
renewal
watched
documents.
a video of how to say it. So Fiddler, real easy,
Reflected
forget
in
the
the
U.
2026 Common Vickler license renewal documents to be signed by signature stamps.
Veronica Cal second.
Any further discussion? That's normally how we do it with a stamp.
Yep.
So signature stamps will be used, please. Roll call vote.
Veronica Cal aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 4.13. You want to do that? That's,
Sure,
I
one second. Just pulling it up here.
Yeah, I guess that's in two places here. Agenda. Let's see. 4.13, okay.
One sec.
159 Brookline special permit application. This is a comment section, a referral for comment.
Yeah, it's not a motion.
It's not
Didn't
a
we do
motion.
this already, or was it for the planning board?
This is not a deliberate request. The applicant is making a new application for a special permit. And the ZBA is requesting a second review of the proposal.
Yeah, okay. Any comments from the board? Um,
Didn't we discuss this already? Why do
I think
we
it's because it was
discussed already?
discussed in planning and zoning. And it was discussed in planning.
Oh,
And
I
this
see.
is a new application, so it's going for public hearing. Which is on the 19th of November.
You talked about some,
We did discuss
Wall.
this.
wait,
This
was it?
isn't-
No, that's not the wall.
I'm
This is the motel units up
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
Sorry.
up on
Yeah.
Brookline Road.
They've been rental cottages since almost the whole time I've been in town. I don't remember when it was Harrison's Motor Court.
Yeah,
And they're-
Before the
they
storage
are
facilities
rental.
were there.
And I remember, I think I was on either planning or conservation when the new owners bought it and came forward to
These-
run it. Not this one, the one prior, who maybe has sold it because the name is different.
Yeah, it is.
And we
it was sold.
discussed this.
The prior one was the one that put the storage units up,
And that was, yeah.
the prior one.
Yeah.
So, and then I
This
think
is
they also
not
did
a
some
duplicate
enhancements.
request.
But I'm leaving it to zoning.
I will do
because-
the same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
Because I haven't followed
and
this.
thankful
and-
that Dave will be
Yeah.
on for
Mhm.
assistant.
Yeah. But we did make a comment on this.
We made a comment on the wall.
No, we made a comment on this.
Was that related
maybe a
to if
couple
it
months
was-
ago.
I believe it was that we would basically said if it's being used as it currently is being used.
Yes,
And that is the
Yeah.
intention, which I believe was the case.
Yeah. So it was that, it wasn't, anyway, okay.
I could, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was what we kind of had said. It's not a different intended use.
Right, I don't understand why a new
Yeah,
special permit, but that's not my concern.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it may have some sticky points, so it's for them. I'm not a lawyer. And today is-
So what are we gonna put down?
You're just writing that.
Just writing, we're leaving, we trust zoning will make correct decision.
Okay. I am good with that.
Yep.
Where are we at, 414?
414. Approve and sign outside of meeting all 2026 renewals for retail licenses, alcohol, contingent upon a valid certificate of inspection and receipt of required documents and payment for the following businesses in Townsend doing business as. Is there a motion?
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve and sign out of a meeting, out of session, sorry, all 2026, sorry, I'm gonna,
Read the.
yeah, no, I will, I'm just gonna put the signature stamps.
Okay, yeah.
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve and sign with signature stamps out of session. All 2026 renewals for retail licenses, alcohol contingent upon a valid certificate of inspection and receipt of required documentation and payment for the following businesses in Townsend. Doing business as Ease Village, The Wine Nook, Old Brick Store, Townsend Package Store, Townsend Mid Country Club, Northern Spy Golf Club, Pandawak, Bailey's Bar and Grill, Patriot Pizza and Subs, Townsend House, and VFW Post number 6538.
Is there a second?
Veronica Cal, second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffern, aye. 4:15. Is there a motion?
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve and sign the signature stamp out of session ABCC seasonal population estimate form.
Veronica Cal, second.
Discussion.
It's
not, it came from Harrison, it's not filled in, that I have here for signature, but I know there hasn't been any growth. Let me see, what does he say? There is no seasonal population increase in Townsend. If anything, there is likely a winter decrease as residents head south to warm areas for the winter.
So, Sabrina will fill out the form as needed. And we'll, sign it out of session.
And for the record, this is for Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission, the ABCC.
Yes, and did you add you added the signature stamp to that one?
Yep.
Okay. All right, having discussion, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffern, aye. Okay, so that goes here. 4:16. Valerie?
Yep.
Also with the signature stamp.
417.
I thought we just
No,
did
this is
15. No, I
416.
have 16.
Or
The
six-
liquor
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
license.
Yep, sorry. My bad.
I know, everything, there's a lot.
Yep. I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve and sign out of session with signature stamps ABCC Renewal Certification 2026.
Is there a second?
Aye, Veronica Cal, second.
Discussion. I think we have the same thing here where the form has to be filled.
This is
in.
just the
Let me just see.
non-seasonal.
Yeah, this is,
Again, ABCC is alcoholic beverage.
okay, so, did we vote?
No,
We discussed?
yeah, well. Yes.
Okay. I mean, I see that,
So now we
I
have to
just
vote.
said that it's not filled in yet.
Yep.
Okay, and this is for the stamps. Okay, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffern, aye. 4:17 is the records retention. Is there a motion? This
Aye.
also is from the town clerk.
Do we want to discuss first?
Probably.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of a twofold thing. We did get a grant, as you might recall, from the state to start digitizing some of our paper records. Just to get rid of some paper that, a lot of offices are overflowing with boxes.
Want to get the amount of the grant,
I think it was about
35?
$120,000 or $30,000. I forget the
I
exact.
wrote it down yesterday, because you
Yeah,
gave it at the, department meeting.
$133,727. So, with that grant in place, we're hoping for all the departments to really look at all their paper files, see what we want to scan as part of the grant, but also what we might be able to dispose of. There's a pretty lengthy retention schedule that the Secretary of State puts out. You know, it varies, depending on what, you know, record you have. So we're hoping that, you know, departments will, go through the records, see what we can, dispose of, what needs, to be requested through the state, and, you know, what we can scan as part of this grant. So it all kind of is interconnected with each other. So we just want this to be, now, on the forefront of our department's, you know,
Is there I meant to ask a question yesterday, is there a time, crunch with this, like, how quickly do we have to use the service? I know it was discussed that possibly, using Guardian to help, it be interdepartment as far as, some of the departments doing their own scanning and then it being uploaded to one place.
yeah, so we're still trying to figure out, a particular, company to use.
Vendor.
Yeah, different vendors have different, software platforms that they end up using. I think the scanning part is pretty straightforward. Anyone can do the scanning, but it's really the back end of where, all those documents are, you know, stored electronically, whether it's on the cloud or, you know, physically on, you know, a server. And then there's, also software that could, you know, group it in a certain way, put it in certain folders, labeling it, you know, naming the files. So, you know, and it kind of runs the gamut of the services that these, you know, software companies offer. And we have not yet picked a vendor that we're going to use. We certainly have seen demonstrations of, you know, a number of vendors, over the summer, but we're still determining what direction to go in.
Is, as part of this process, will whoever is chosen, will there be naming conventions that are used across departments so that, you know, if it's a land use file or a Board of Health file or a, you know, select board file or whatever, I think that it would be good to document it. I don't think a policy is in place, but I think there should be a document created that is used as a standard by the town for this is how we keep our documents in order. This is how we find them. There's a code for each department. You know, maybe you put a date in, you put,
Has to be a date.
yeah, you put in, you know, like maybe a DEP number if it's a conservation file or whatever.
Yeah.
Someone looking at the naming conventions and then where are things stored? Where are paper files stored? Where are, you know, soft copy files stored?
Right.
So that it's something that is townwide pretty much and known. You know, you can, when someone new comes in, you can say, okay, this is where all the files are. So it's not, oh my goodness, where are those RFP files?
Right.
And we have to go to the website to find them uploaded in a, you know, file system that we no longer have because we don't have the person or the vendor or whatever. There really needs to be something written down as they're going through. And I don't know if that's something that the town does or that the vendor that is hired does. And maybe it's a combination of the two.
I think it would be in conjunction with the two.
I think it would be because whatever naming convention we come up with, those digital files now will have that, you know, naming convention. And I think it's a collaboration, you know, what is best practice, what we feel should be part of that naming convention. So I think it is a combination of the vendor and the town to come up with a naming convention that we can all agree upon and that we use as moving forward.
And that the town uses this as a best practice and it's published somewhere so people know.
Right.
Internally, it's not
No, I mean, published
Yeah.
for, like,
Departments.
if a new land use coordinator comes in, they can say, how are the files organized? And poof, we have it, and they know how to name things going forward. I don't think it's a select board policy
No.
as much as
I
it
think
is
it's a day-to-day
townwide,
administration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
policy for that, but I think it's important that something like that gets put in place.
Right.
And that we keep our eyes open for another grant that might, because I don't know if the 133 is enough
It's not.
No, I
to,
think he
to
asked
do
for
it.
250 or 300, and that's what,
Aaron originally asked for 200,
Mm.
and it got, cut down. I think the state wanted more people to, get grant money, so I think they
Spread it out.
spread it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's woefully inadequate to digitize everything that we have, but it's a start, and I think it'll buy us some time in terms of, the space constraints that we're currently facing.
Does it make sense? I don't know, again, this is a procedural nuance that you guys probably discussed. I wonder if there's a certain degree it makes sense with the funds we have to work not current backwards versus trying. Do you understand what I mean? Get
Yeah.
the most current stuff. And then slowly work back, so,
Yeah.
like, what's
Yeah.
like digitizing 1970 might not be as valuable as digitizing 2017.
Right.
It's just a thought.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
we have the priority, and that's what we're also trying to figure out. When the department's looking through their records, like, tell us, these are the, 4 boxes you want to digitize because you've gone through everything and you've, in your mind, feel like those are the files that, deserve the most attention, in terms of priority for, getting scanned first. Because we can't scan everything, so I think we need to, triage what we, scan for this first.
Yeah, and you guys
Go
may need
around.
to set that policy. of Let's start here, and work backwards
Yes.
Yeah.
to
And
some degree.
starting current sounds like a good plan.
So,
'Cause that's the most
to
commonly
get that in
requested.
the cloud, and then, because everybody seems to be, well, most people, not me, but most people, can go in the cloud and get whatever information they want. So would that be, what you said?
I mean, I don't know where
Start
all
around,
these
go
stored.
Are you
back.
talking about public records when you say anybody can go in the cloud, or are you talking
No.
about an employee in town? What
Well,
do you mean?
SharePoint is out here.
I don't
It's
mean,
not on
and I
site.
don't mean SharePoint or stuff like that. I mean, I probably should not be the one talking about this.
Because SharePoint is,
I
there is no
really
like,
shouldn't be.
SharePoint is
Out there.
cloud.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, as you're talking, I'm thinking about the Hart Library, and a lot, that would be stuff that would have to go to the state to be destroyed. I mean, it's full of mold and whatever,
yeah, I mean.
or are we leaving that for last? And just gonna use the money for the actual records that might do us some good?
I think it probably would be, records either here at Town Hall or, say Highway or the Police Department, or maybe even Senior Center or Library. I think the Hart Library isn't part of this.
Okay.
I just think we have so much that we need to scan now that, the Hart Library is gonna have to wait for.
So then there's also in here, certain departments, can destroy after a certain year.
Correct.
Like,
and
do
it-
they have to get permission to destroy
It does
that?
say most records may not be destroyed without written approval from the supervisor of records at the Secretary of Commerce office.
Yeah.
Right.
But
There's a
again,
form for it, and the supervisor often grant permission the same or next business day, so.
and again, we have to look at the retention schedule, which again is pretty lengthy, and how long we need to retain it for, or
And are
some.
they different for different departments?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, my question was, how long do we have to participate, get the vendor and use the funds? Is there a deadline?
The grant, funding expires, October of next year, end of October, so we have just under a year.
And that goes quick.
It does, we already have some vendors that we've looked at, they can mobilize pretty quickly, once they
Is
come
that
up.
a contract that you do? Or do we do? Do we have to select a vendor, the select board, or is that you?
We have to approve it.
You would have to sign the contract, so, you know, whoever, you know, we would come to the select board with our recommendations, and, you know, it's possible that the vendors could, do presentations for the select board. But certainly we'll do most of the heavy lifting and, you know,
When would you like to do that, knowing that we have 11 months?
Sooner the better.
Well, when you're ready to pick a vendor,
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah,
would
but what
have,
is the goal date for knowing who the vendor's gonna be? We have 11 months.
I think probably January, because I think people, what,
They
was
should be
listed
doing this
here for
now.
what people need to be going through. It's gonna take a little while for that to happen, and
Correct.
until that happens, so I would say in January, maybe have a vendor chosen. I don't know, what timeline are you guys working on?
Like I said, it goes really quick, because once you've isolated the boxes or, filing cabinets that you want to be scanned, the vendor will literally come with a truck, take them off site, and then start scanning it. So, and, you know, they work fairly quickly, but it's
And so
really
there will be a period of time when those documents aren't accessible to us,
correct. Yep.
just so everybody's aware.
Yep. So
But
it's,
they get destroyed. No,
After they're scanned.
After they're scanned, they get destroyed. You're not bringing a box back to the town hall.
probably not, you know,
There might be
that,
certain circumstances.
those
where
are
you
the
have to.
nuances that we need to work out, whether, you know, you can just get them destroyed and, you know, the scanning company can just, you know, shred them, you know, responsibly, or, you know, destroy it however. But it's really the legwork that is gonna take the most time
For the department.
yeah, for all the departments to really sift through their documents, see what they want to get rid of, what they want scanned, need scanned. So I think it's going to probably take the better part of the winter into, you know, the springtime potentially, you know, for them to be ready for the scanning company to come and take everything off site to get it scanned.
So when do you think we should choose a vendor?
Yeah, I think late winter, early spring, so January, between January and March.
Well, here's the question though. Who works on naming conventions? By the time they take it off site, that should be determined. Because
I think so.
when they're doing the scanning, they're gonna scan into the named
Well, they'll be-
folders or the whatever. So the question is, if we want to work with the vendor, choosing the vendor to get those sorts of things defined and not doing any actual work until late winter, early spring might be right, but I
'Cause there's
think
questions
that
for
there
the
has to be
contract.
thought going into that ahead of time.
Mhm.
And if we're gonna do it as a community or municipality enclosed without talking to the vendor, okay.
I
But
think
if
it would
we
behoove
want-
of us to do that with the vendor.
Pardon me?
I would imagine it would be beneficial to do that with the
I
vendor
think so
because they
too,
have,
and in which case I think
recommendations.
you want the vendor in place sooner than later. Because there could be a lot of discussions
my
about
thought.
what makes
It might
sense.
They might
help
have an
the
entire-
Department heads.
just do this
To know that.
process for naming and.
Could be, because they've done it in other communities and all the communities have the same.
And they may have
sort of-
questions that we have to come back with answers to.
Right, so I think naming a vendor sooner rather than later is better with the understanding that it's more of a, how does it work
Mhm.
first, and then, well, okay, here are your boxes.
Right.
So the goal is January to get demos.
I think
Is
you've
that-
already had them.
We've had some, we're
Oh.
still trying to figure out if we want to look at other companies. There's, probably dozens of them out there, but we obviously don't have time to sift through every single one. But some are on the state contract list, which
Oh, yeah.
which
They
really,
mentioned using somebody on the.
which
state
really
contract.
helps us narrow down the search, because doing a full-blown RFP would be fairly time consuming. And, you know, these vendors, have worked with multiple municipalities in the past.
Okay.
So,
I bet there's a lot of hand holding they'll do too.
yeah, as much, you know, assistance as we need, so.
So do we need a motion for this, or is this just a day-to-day administration task that we?
I don't think the motion is really needed. This is really just, operationally how we're, you know, dealing with our records. So.
I mean, it's all laid out in Mass General Law, what you can do anyway, so.
I think that the motion comes in, I'm looking at this, I need to approve the process. Disposal of custody, Town Hall and Hart Library's best practices as follows, and we have to fill in the as follows. So if we're doing that, my as follows would be to, I would like to see the vendor that's chosen, you know, choose a vendor off the, you know, state list, the state vendor list, have the vendor in place by February 1st, determine a document for naming conventions, or a document, you know, the whole thing should be documented so that we have documented for town hall how this process goes forward, and then follow the process.
Right.
So I guess the question is do we actually just want a document prepared with the process versus us saying, oh, you get a naming convention and you get this?
Yeah, I'm sure there's more to it than what I've said or what you've said or any of us have said.
I mean, there would probably be a scope of work that would, and proposal that would lay everything out. And in terms of the naming convention, I'm sure there's a limitation on the vendor side, but I also think there's a lot of flexibility that they can accommodate us. So it's really up to us how we want that naming convention to be. And we can, behind the scenes internally, figure out what that naming convention looks like. We can have suggestions and then, you know, bring it up to the select board to make a decision.
And the reason for the vendor could be that they have suggestions.
Right.
That this is what they found works best.
I just don't
in other
want to,
communities.
I don't want to vote on best practices that a vendor would be like, why are you
Right.
doing that?
I agree. I don't think there needs to be a motion here. I do think
Sooner the better.
if we were gonna do direction, it would be choose a vendor ASAP.
Yeah.
I think is what I
And
would
then
say.
have them give you guidance.
Yeah,
But, you know, so, I'll work on,
and
find-
bring us the,
Information.
Yep, so, I'll work on that with the team, and, you know, we'll come to the select board in the coming months with, you know, our recommended.
It's November.
it's November. I
Yeah.
would want this in December, our second meeting in
Who's
December,
the
which
team?
gives you 2 months.
It's just me and the town clerk at the moment. So we've been the ones that have been sitting in on the.
I do think
presentation.
Sabrina has some probably pretty good insights on files and naming and everything too. But she was,
So, yeah, maybe include her in the team.
or maybe, I don't know. I mean, treasurer, who else would really need naming schemes?
The land use.
Land
Land
use.
use is
So many
Yeah.
documents.
so many documents.
Yeah.
Karen.
Yeah, that
I'll,
would be good.
I'll solicit some, feedback from them on how they want, you know, files named.
So I guess for our purposes, I would like to see what vendors were considered and which one who's your number one and why. I would want to know what the timeline is for the project.
Mhm.
And, you know, and where people are with getting what Harrison had listed here, his next steps. Getting their files so that there aren't duplicates, so that things are
Right,
in order, that sort of thing.
Yep.
And that they've reviewed that 127-page document on municipal
Retention.
records retention. And that people are up on that, department heads anyway.
Easy
Because I-
reading.
Yeah, because they can find out what they need and what they don't need. And the whole document doesn't apply to all of them.
Yeah.
You know,
I
so-
think it's great that we have that grant.
Yeah.
And then also maybe a definition of how far you think you can get, like how many years back. Or something like that,
vendor.
yeah. In the time frame that we have for the money that we have.
Right.
You know,
I
what's
think-
possible.
I think Veronica's right too, that we need to give department heads the heads up of what they need to do and give them the most time. And then the vendor says, in order for me to get all this done, I need it by this date so that our money is still valid when we're done.
And put Kieran on looking for the next grant so
Yeah.
that we can keep this going.
Does this include water too?
Trying to think.
Probably isn't police. I think they do their own records thing.
Police actually, had a capital project, I think a year or two ago for roughly $37,000.
I don't think it's been spent yet.
No, it has not. So they can
Oh, they had all that time?
I don't know what all they've done, but I know that
Should ask them if
they
they wanna
follow
put
a
that
records
into the-
retention piece. Yeah,
we might be able to get some economy of scale if we included them as well. But I also don't want to pick a vendor.
Based on that.
no.
Well, unless, the police department had someone they wanted to work with in mind, I don't wanna sort of circumvent or just unilaterally pick a vendor if they had someone else in mind. But certainly if they're willing and able to, we should collaborate together. I think you might be able to get some savings. Because, the more you end up scanning, the cheaper it is per scan. It's like fractions of a penny at times for like a page. But it can add up pretty quickly, the savings. So, okay, we'll work on it, this in the coming weeks.
And come back our second December meeting with a plan on a vendor.
Okay, that's,
Maybe
that,
not a hired vendor, but here are the vendors we're looking at. This is what we recommend and this is why. And I would keep them on the state list if at all possible. And I know that the MMA conference, there were booths set up last January that had people who did this. I picked up a couple cards and I think I've even sent you or Kieran or both of you. These are because I've gotten queries for this.
I think you might have given us one or two, and I think Kieran has some experience with a digitization company, because I think they did it in Dunstable, and the town clerk had some experience in the previous
And I think I
municipality,
sent
so-
him the name of someone. I
Yep.
probably sent it to you too
Yep,
at the
so
same time.
we'll revisit those vendors and go from
And
there.
let us know.
Okay. So 418, review, discuss survey on harassment and threats against town officials and public officials. I think, did anybody else take the survey? I took the survey.
I didn't know, I waited on it because I didn't know what we were doing with that. I didn't know if this was something you were reporting on or if it was something that we were supposed to take.
I'm not quite sure, because did you guys get it individually?
No.
Okay, so it went to the chair. And it does, if you looked at it, it's like for mayors, or governors, or
Well, that's what.
select
we're
board
considered
chair
to be.
was one of the things.
Yeah.
But because of recent situations, and also because of, I've received many complaints from employees about being harassed in town hall, as well as, I think we've all been harassed on Facebook and every place else. So I actually took the survey. I don't know if I kept a copy of it, but I took it and I gave all the answers for what I knew, and how I felt that it was, first of all, I think all the employees should be respected. And I certainly feel that all elected officials, appointed officials should be respected and not be degraded publicly on Facebook or anyplace else. We're all trying to do, we're not paid, and we're all trying to do the best we can for the community, which we live in. So I haven't received a response, and I don't know what's coming out of it, but considering what happened to us regarding the journalist auditors, and the harassment of one of our employees getting in their face. Nelson, do you want to talk further maybe on what we're hoping to accomplish here to help protect our offices a little bit more?
That's in my,
Okay,
update
all right.
report.
So anyway, I'll just say that I don't have to belabor this. Only wanted you to know that I took the survey and I have reported everything that I have experienced as well as what has been reported to me.
The only thing I might want to do is ask if you can get the results of the survey when they've compiled them.
I have his email, so I'll,
Yeah, that's the only
be
thing I would
asking.
want. This says for the first select person. And that is not me. That is you.
Well, I
So
think that's
you
why they
were-
got mine.
So I'm glad
so-
I'm glad you took it.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't not gonna answer, especially, it came the day after we had the thing here. So,
And what I didn't do is I didn't go to verify that it was actually a survey.
I did see that as an actual.
yeah, it
survey.
was a survey.
Yeah.
Okay, 5.1, Volunteer Board Coordination Committee, BBCC update. You have before you 5.1, which is the new volunteer response form, which we promised was going to now be one. And you can see, I think we've seen the front page and like the front page already. What may be a little bit different is when we re-met last week, we discussed the approval authority and kind of went back and forth on the, like, why is it there? Because on the volunteer form, it's not there on the original one. It was on for the reappointment form. So that's why it now says signature for reappointment. It's a clarification. That was changed from the last time you saw it. Plus additional lines were put in and a couple other things. There was one misspelling, but that has all been corrected and hopefully to your satisfaction. The other thing I told Sabrina I would explain is the process. So there's a vacancy and somebody wants to fill a position on that vacancy. If it's a, like town properties, let's say, 5 of the positions are by charter and they're either by a board doing a representative or a department like highway making it. So the approving authority, the process would be is basically to give it to that. It gets stamped in. I think we're going to do it by the town clerk now. It's going to be stamped in by the town clerk and then it's going to be dispersed to either a department head, if that's what it is, or the chair of a committee, if it's a reappointment. And then it's going to go to the full board or chair of the committee to have the board vote in a representative.
Does it also go to us if it needs our vote?
It should.
Because I think sometimes there's something that happens where boards take action because we haven't, and it's because we
Yeah,
don't know.
because we don't know. We haven't we never received Dave Chanel's thing.
Yeah.
And we can appoint first. We can choose to appoint. And if we haven't appointed within 45 days, I think it is,
then
then the board can appoint.
But I
You
guess
have
the
to-
trick is like, if we don't know,
Then we don't know to get it. So if someone comes in and says, I want to be on this committee, then it should go to us and it should go to the committee. The committee should act on it to give a recommendation.
Yes.
But if they do not, we can still appoint. Otherwise, we stand to lose someone who never gets considered by this board and is a
Yes.
viable candidate.
Okay, so,
So it needs to go to both, is what I'm saying. We need to know that
Yeah.
the posting has been made and the board or committee is to notify us that they have posted. When a posting comes in, they get it and we get it at the same time. And then it's 45 days from the date of the posting
that we could
that
also
we
appoint,
can appoint.
unless it's per a board. Unless it's per the charter appointed by a board.
In which case, it's
And then it
typically
goes-
a joint appointment by
Yeah,
us. So
okay,
like
for the charter?
if we have a
The trust-
planning board person who is an elected official and we have an opening there, then, and someone puts the name in, we can't
We-
appoint, it has to be a
Joint.
joint appointment
Okay,
of an elected board for a
I
vacancy
think all
on
the
that
elected
board.
ones are joint appointments.
I thought so,
That's
but
what I thought.
I'm not sure in the new
if you're
charter.
replacing an
An elected.
An
elected,
elected, yes, it's joint with the.
I don't quote me
select
on that, 'cause I don't think there's any exceptions from what I remember, but
board.
not for the elected, and the only one you can't do is select board. That has to be elected again,
So
that's
it's,
the only one.
it's only, and so what a board can do, I mean, playing devil's advocate here is, if it just goes to the board and, it's someone they don't want, they never consider it, we have no idea that it was appointed. Boom. Same thing happens if it is someone that they want, but they don't think we would appoint them.
No.
Then
Sabrina
they
should get
sit
a
on
copy
it
of
and they
this.
wait until after the 45 days and then it needs to go to both boards.
Okay, are you okay with? Cause we've been discussing the process and trying to get it out, like on paper, this is what it is. When somebody fills out the form, volunteer form, it should go to the town clerk's office to be stamped in and it should go right to Sabrina. Which means we get it,
Yes.
volunteer form that comes in, it was never to not have Sabrina involved or the select board's office involved.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that's good. Yeah, I'm good
So-
with that. That's
just as
the way
long
the
as
process
everybody
is.
who
It's
needs
just the
to
way-
vote on someone is informed, I'm fine.
Yeah,
Right.
However, and if there's a case where we don't need to, then you don't need to know.
and all vacancies as well, which is why tonight's announcement of vacancies will be a little bit longer. Okay, so, anyway, so now you go to the backside, and we finally got that done, and hopefully you feel that this is done okay. You'll see the elected boards on one side, and the clarification underneath, unless a vacancy exists on an elected board prior to an election, all above positions require nomination papers. Please see the town clerk for further information. So, is that clear or not? And then appointed officials and boards, and there's the whole list, which that was adjusted. And where you see the asterisk, like capital planning is only by, I think the thing on the bottom.
It's a mix.
It's a-
Capital planning is a mix of representatives from boards and community members that the town moderator appoints.
Okay,
So it's a mix. I'm looking at this. It's just-
yeah, because you see this 2-star, the 3-star,
Mhm.
and the 4-star and 5-star are stated below.
Mhm.
You see this town bylaws for membership composition. You know what? I'm wondering. No, don't tell me.
Right.
This says see town bylaws for membership composition. I think that's meant to be charter.
No, it might be the bylaws. I'm not certain on that.
So are the bylaws the same as the charter?
No, the charter is the first 7 sections or something like that, and then the bylaws are a separate
Like the
thing.
day-to-day.
Yeah. the charter and the bylaws are two separate things.
So look at the threes. Capital planning, is that per the bylaws?
I'd have to go into the website to be
Fourth.
certain.
4 stars, we know that is the town moderator. Finance is the town moderator. Neshoba Valley Technical School District Committee is the 5, because that's joint. Appointed
Yes, we
by a
have the
special
joint meeting.
joint committee.
Mhm.
See regional agreement, okay, whatever that is. That's the only one that does that. But I thought the town moderator did capital planning.
Yes, but only part of capital planning. There's like 4 of them, one member from the select board, one member from the finance committee, one member from the
So is that per
planning
bylaw
board,
or
and then
charter?
there's that's what I'm looking
It's in the
right now.
bylaws.
Yeah,
It's chapter 14.
I was
Right.
gonna say,
Okay, good. That's capital planning.
Yep.
So 3, see towns and moderator. Okay, so that's correct, capital planning. Finance committee is 4, that's the moderator, we know the other one is right. Town properties is 3. Now, the town, I thought the town properties makeup was the charter.
no,
Well, it's in the
It's the
bylaws.
it's also
bylaws?
the bylaws.
Okay,
yeah. I'm looking here
perfect.
too.
Okay. Then I think that he did all of his homework. Those are good then. And so that was dated when we approved it November 3rd. We being the committee. And then they added the Townsend website at the bottom.
And here at least it's a live link. That's very nice. Anyway,
And this will be on the website, and this could be on our Facebook page coming up. Do I have a motion?
can I ask one question? Is it, must you do the fillable PDF? Or is it possible to get it printed as well, so that someone could fill it in and hand it in?
We're gonna print them out here,
Oh, okay, so you
We'll
are
have
doing
this
printed?
like we've left volunteer forms before.
Okay,
Out in front
and
of the
it's, so
town
it's
clerk's
both,
office,
so you
out
can
in
do
front of
both.
this
Okay.
office.
All right, so
Absolutely.
it's not
But if somebody
exclusively-
wants to do online, they can,
Right, I like that.
okay? Any other suggestions?
Nope, that's all.
Is there a motion?
Yeah, I think that's good.
As long as the notification's right for everybody involved, I'm good with it.
Oh, yeah, it's not, both offices are gonna know at the same time. It's gonna be stamped in though by the town
Of
clerk,
course,
and he's
it
supposed to
should be.
send it right here,
It should be,
okay?
yeah.
And then that's when
The
the
receiver of
time
record, so,
starts.
yeah.
Yeah,
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the wrong one. I, Valerie Goodrich, move to
5.1.
approve the volunteer response form as presented with the possibility of future additions of new committees and boards.
Veronica Cal second.
any further discussion?
I'm just gonna say one thing, committees like the Conservation Restriction Committee, that's not a full-time standing committee in the charter, the bylaws. That's just a special committee for a special purpose.
Is it the same people for years? What is it?
Well, we appointed it in like a few months ago, and when the purpose is over, the committee gets
It's like a
disbanded.
task force
Yeah,
kind of thing then?
so, and it's listed here,
Yeah, it should be.
and that's a little bit funky, I think. I'm looking to see if there's any others where that's
Because
the
there's,
case.
I mean, there's.
This isn't something that, it's not a standing committee as such.
But it will be saying
Open
that.
Space and Recreation Committee, there should be a return before Recycling Committee.
I didn't know that.
And the Open Space and Recreation Committee, again, that was appointed for the specific purpose of writing that document. I think that it's disbanded now. I was on that committee,
Okay,
and we haven't met since the document was completed. So, it's
It was
things
like
like
the
that.
charter, review on here? No.
No, because that was disbanded after the charter was
So,
Right,
approved.
so
so
then
that would be
anything that is
called back
disbanded
again.
probably should
Yeah.
come off the
Yeah, that would
list.
get called back in. I'm thinking of, like the bylaw review committee was another one, and it's not on here, nor should it be. But
So
it
are you
might
saying
be
there
called
should be
back.
like a third category for?
I mean, right now,
Well,
we,
task force can be almost anything. We would be calling for volunteers on any special project kind of thing.
yeah, so that's not something that you want to list here necessarily.
Especially if it's
Maybe
not
a
every 5
caveat.
years or 3 years.
And
What,
other,
I didn't know if it was a separate category, a third category.
but
No.
those can be named, I mean, the Conservation Restriction Committee, we just kind of made that up when we appointed it.
Yeah,
It isn't,
like the VBCC.
yeah, exactly. And-
exactly.
And that's not on here.
And that's not gonna be on
So,
here.
No,
No, please,
and
never
and
repeat that
neither
name again
should
once you're
the
done.
Conservation Restriction Committee be on here.
See, it's always better when more people talk.
So basically, we need to remove any temporary boards that are disbanded.
Yeah, temporary committees assigned for a specific purpose. This
Right.
should only be for those that are mentioned
In
in
the
the
bylaws.
charter, the bylaws.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I think.
Or
So,
currently working.
so maybe we don't want to vote on this just yet. Although I like it.
Why?
You know?
I would like to get a form out. We need,
Okay, then I want to
We need
amend
tomorrow.
it to remove the Conservation Restriction Committee. That should be removed.
And the other one was the Open Space and Recreation Committee,
Yeah, that should be
Yeah.
removed.
not to be confused with the Recreation.
recycling
Commission.
committee, but stays.
The Recreation Commission is an elected
Yep.
board.
I was
So
just
that's
clarifying for anybody
different.
listening.
Yeah, and Kids Country Playground, is that mentioned in the in
Probably
the
not the bylaw,
bylaws, or no? Because
No.
that was a committee that
Just for
was
that.
appointed when I was a selectman the first time around,
Are
in
these-
order to accomplish exactly what was accomplished.
Okay,
and to-
but do they stay now that, are they the caretakers or is there some reporting they have to do every year or
I would think it
what?
was part of facility, of
Of
parks
cemetery
and
and
cemeteries at
parks.
this point, once it's done, right?
Oh, yeah.
The maintenance of it, yeah, in a way, but they're,
Because it's town property, correct?
Yeah.
It's a town park.
Yeah. but I think they still have,
Eventually.
Well, they still have another phase that they want to do for
Yeah,
this.
and they have
So I
some-
would leave it here.
they have some money that they can also make use of,
Oh, as
maybe.
long as they have money, I guess they can still stay.
Well, there was always money for that playground, but it was managed through cemetery and parks, not through a particular committee.
Are they appointed? They're appointed.
They are appointed, yeah. And I like the committee, having it there, but is it a standing committee? It is for now, you know? So how do you want to manage that, I guess? So for now, just do it as it is, but know that it
Right, that
needs.
could come off.
So I would take off the Conservation Restriction Committee. I would
Again,
take
this
off
is
the
easy
Open
enough
Space and
to-
Recreation
Yeah, I mean,
Committee.
things.
Well, and I
can-
don't think
Yeah.
I don't think
change.
this, once we get a basic form, I don't think it needs to go through us to change it. You just,
Just do it as,
people would,
As it happens.
yeah,
the select board's office and the clerk would just add as needed.
yeah,
Or change as needed.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, plus
Because
understand,
when there's a charter review, you gotta put it on there.
yes,
Yes, or a
Or-
bylaw review
or a
committee,
master
you
plan.
would want to add it in, so it's dynamic in
Yeah,
that sense.
And we don't
So,
want to be involved in that day-to-day aspect of it.
Well,
if volunteer forms are
Yeah.
gonna be involved, we should be.
We
Yeah,
should
Because
be.
we're gonna end up being
Right.
appointing them.
Absolutely.
And they should appear if something comes up, like it has with the Disabilities Committee, which is a recent posting, we now have open positions.
Yep.
So now we're gonna announce them.
Of course.
You know? So, but I think those were good observations.
but the Commission on Disability, it was in the charter or the bylaws, one or the other. I don't know if it is right now, but it was.
Well, now we've established it and we've posted positions for it.
Right,
Okay, so that's why that's here.
yeah, no,
That
that's
was
good.
not here on
I'm
our
good
other
with it.
go around. So Conservation and Restriction Committee comes off, Open Space and Recreation Committee goes off, recycling stays. Okay, so if you can make a motion with those edits on it, I can get this done tomorrow at the meeting. I'll
I
report back.
move to approve the volunteer response form as presented with edits as discussed and with possibility of future additions.
Who are you?
Sorry. It's our artificial meeting minute mover. I, Valerie Goodrich.
She's very excited.
Very excited. I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the volunteer response form as presented with edits and the possibility of future additions of new committees and boards as needed.
Veronica Cal, second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffern, aye. Thank you. Yay. I have a form. Okay. 5.2 review. Administrator review documents for spring 2026.
Callie just only came up.
I just got the email.
I put it on SharePoint, so I don't think you guys have had time to look at it yet. So,
I looked at
maybe,
a draft.
so I don't know if you guys want to punt till the next meeting or if you guys think you have enough time to.
Well,
Veronica?
I would like to look at it. I need to see what, I had to sit down with Callie to understand, and I think I understand now. And so I think it might be of use to go over it right now,
Okay.
if that's okay with you
Yep.
guys.
So, I mean, my only thought with this, and I wrote to Callie about this, was it seemed like there was, I can understand this document from the perspective of annual reviews. It seemed like there was a lot of information for a meeting by meeting assessment.
Well, it would be like every other meeting.
That still
or
seemed
once
like
a month.
it, because, I
Well-
mean, because it wasn't, I was expecting a little bit more of like, here was our goals. And less of these soft skills. Do
So-
you understand what I mean?
So the idea, yes, I was too.
Because there's a
Initially.
lot of information. I think one of the things we're guilty of is we lose track of those baseline things when all this other stuff gets wrapped up.
So we talked about that at the end of our talk, that there needs to be a review document that has those upper level, this is what we're doing. These are the goals in between, to look at monthly to see where we are on these, so that it doesn't come up. So in other words, on this, and the words that she took the chart that I passed out at the meetings that had all the months, and then Nelson took it and did and all that. She took those.
But there's lots of other
And
stuff in here too.
Yes, there is, because she tried to break it down so that we can look at this once a month and see where we are. Did she say, she put bi-weekly up here, which means
Yeah.
every other week, correct?
No, bi-monthly. Bi-monthly goal progress. That's what it says up top.
Because bi-weekly.
In what's in the
I'm seeing
SharePoint
bi-monthly.
now, it says bi-weekly. What was
Oh.
in the SharePoint, or what she sent us, might have been what she sent us,
Oh,
was bi-monthly. It's now bi-weekly in what's here. So one meeting a month, at the end of the month, you go through and like, negotiating contracts, internal negotiations, union agreements and employment contracts. Okay, when was that assigned? So we would have put assigned, if we were using this all along, we
But that's not
would,
one of our goals.
okay, let me pick one.
You get what I'm,
Yes, restructuring of the organizational chart. That was something that we talked about. And that goes together with the DPW thing. So she tried to fit this into here so that we could do this together. You know, we
Yeah.
could track where we are on these things. So restructuring of the organizational chart, the due date that we have, and it's in the minutes that we approved today, was November 19th. So we should have suggestions from Nelson on restructuring the organizational chart. Now, typically, we would
So-
have put assigned in here.
but doesn't that go with a particular goal that we have, which is? Do you understand what I'm getting at?
So
That goes
we
with one of
had
the
4
goals.
major goals.
Yeah.
And maybe what we want to do is add a column to this that says, these are our 4 major goals. These are she was trying to get measurable pieces in.
Absolutely.
How do we measure
Yeah.
that? And so the restructuring of the organizational chart, and down under planning, the DPW restructuring.
Do you understand how like
Yes,
one goal
I
is
see
in
what
4
you're
different
saying.
places? And so I guess my question is like, I look at it as we have those 4 goals for 3, 3 and 3. Is that what we did?
So maybe maybe
And-
what we want to do is, instead of having budgeting goals, leadership goals, organizational goals, and planning goals, we make those categories. I don't have that I do have it with me,
No, I
but
have it.
not to pull it out. Do you have it?
1 second.
Budgeting goals was one of it. So let's make budgeting. That was one of our main things.
Yeah, so we had primary goals and secondary goals. Budget, DPW, regionalization, human resources, and secondary goals was policies and communications.
Okay, so,
All of those things have leadership and organizational aspects of them,
right.
right? And that's kind of goes without stating for someone at Nelson's position. And so I just feel like I want to be measuring it by how's our budgeting going? How's our DPW restructuring? And when
going?
it's in 4 different places, this is just my personal,
No, I like your idea.
and it's the block thing, I think is like, that's a really good end of year, like, idea of how
Her
leadership
idea
and
was that we
organization-
would have these month to month to see where we are at the end of the year, and have something concrete and have measurable goals.
Yeah, and I think the measurable goals are the goals, right?
Right, so maybe no, measurable goals are, there were to be, staff meetings every month. So therefore 12 meetings,
Mhm.
there were, 8 that were held. That is a measurable goal. As opposed to a soft goal. It has to be something that you can hold your hand on. It can't be something like time management. Well,
Oh, yeah, and so,
you
yeah,
know,
I felt this was a little more on the soft than,
so maybe what we want to do is
and I mean,
redo this. And then the idea is to change the dates as you accomplish things, and change the goal, the measurable piece of it.
yeah, so this is just like an example. So under budgeting is FY 27 budget structure and coordination, right? But then under organization is financial team. And then over here under planning
all
is financial software. And then here under leadership is organizational chart. And they all actually are that budgeting goal.
So maybe we take those and call it budgeting goals, put it all in there, not worry about put it
Just
all
my
under
thoughts.
there. I'm good with that. It's just a change for
Yeah.
maybe how Callie is thinking.
I know the acronym is good. I'm just not sure that, like, I'm not looking at it as budgeting, leadership, organizational planning. I'm looking at
Neither
it,
was I, because I looked at
Yeah.
this and my eyes crossed, and I
I'm
thought,
looking at it as, here's the goals we set. How are we, and even if we
where
have,
are we making?
if we have the, like, we can put like, these are the dates underneath that goal. Or the subtasks or whatever happens to be.
Yes, So instead of
And those are
having,
fluid, right?
yes, and that's what this is meant to be. So you assign it, you give the date, you give
Yeah,
the
I agree
status.
with that. This is good with the fluid, but the dates, it's just the categorization is not something that
I
is
like your idea
intuitive
better.
to me.
What do you think, Nelson? You're the one that's gonna be meeting these things, so.
So this verse is actually just based on the goals, because we have those 4 primary and the 2 secondary.
Yeah,
Yeah, so let's do it that way, and so it loses the
Block.
budgeting leadership, the bloppy bit of
Yeah.
it, but it does, I like this in that it
I like
measures things out and
the
gives
due
a
dates, but I
date.
think the trick is we have to be able to change.
Yes, and so you would change this every month, you would look at it and say, okay, so this one's done, and you've got that
Yeah. I just
report
want it to
from the
be
month
under those
before.
goals, because I feel like we have so much stuff going on. We lose those goals, like here's our 4 primary goals.
So why don't I talk to Callie about that and we can rearrange? Maybe I don't know if I have the ability to, this is a PDF, so I don't have the ability to change it, but I'll see if I can
Yeah,
get
and
that.
I said, she can, she can show you my email. I emailed her with exactly that feedback, so.
Okay, all
It
right.
was basically like they're broken into,
Yeah, so so
Primary
it
and
won't be a
secondary.
block report, it'll be a goals report.
yeah,
And we can add the 2 secondary. So,
and I do think the block format is really good for like management that's not relying on someone else's goals, but in this case, it's the select
yes.
board goals and they'll change every year,
Oh, yeah,
and you want to be able to use the same format.
right, okay. All right, so a
Next
little bit
time.
more work on this. But can we at least for November 19th, look at what's on here? Because there were some things that, and I changed some of Callie's dates. I had present financial status of the town to the select board and the FinCom for November 19th. Are we still on track for that?
we are, I still need to talk to the finance committee.
Okay,
I've been trying to get a hold of Dawn. I meant to call him today, but I was so busy with meetings and everything, I didn't get a chance to. Was your goal to have a joint meeting with them?
yes, that's the way we did it when I was first a my first term of a select board. By the end of November, we always knew what the projections were for local receipts, what the projections are for excise tax, all the things that you put in the recap and kind of guess at in the spring when you're developing the budget, you talk about those. And that's, and it's in our budget policy.
And I don't know if we're gonna have it for the,
No, I'm not talking about the recap for FY 25. Or, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about FY 26. I'm talking about FY 27.
Right. Yep.
What do we expect? Because that's what we're gonna be budgeting for.
Right.
Come January.
Yep.
So it's the recap for FY 25, 26 is not yet.
Right.
We guessed at that last spring. This is our guess for this coming spring.
Right.
Guess, projections, I shouldn't use guess, but whatever. Or what are the
As every
projections?
town does.
Yeah, and it's in our budget policy.
Yeah.
So, and we always did it with the financial team, the finance committee, and the select board.
Mhm.
So that then Nelson can go off and,
Develop the budget
figure
memo.
out the budget memo, run that by us so that we can approve it, so he can get it out by December 15th or so. So at our December 2nd meeting, we should have a budget memo
Yeah, and I think
to discuss.
yeah, it would conceivably go up the next day or, a couple days after the December 2nd meeting, because at the December 2nd meeting, would have had a draft for you guys to review and, vote on or change, and then
and that'll be the classification hearing too, from the assessor on the 2nd. I just got that date today, or
Yeah,
I asked for it.
and that's fine, but the 19th would be the projection. I expected to see today, actually, the forms. Do we have those settled yet
No,
With FinCom to be
for what the staff is gonna use?
no, FinCom hasn't reached out to me yet, and that's part of what I need to do is reach out to them to see if they have any suggestions about
I
how.
think when the
So
commissioners
we should
discussion,
have
I think
that
it was less about
next
changes to the
meeting.
forms as more as how they complete them.
Got it.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that everybody does it the same
Yep.
way, because that really was, a point last time around, so it would have been nice to have them all filled out the same way. So that, so I would want that on the 19th as well then.
Yes, if there are any changes to be made to the form, but I think you're right, it's more of the content versus how the form is laid out.
And that way, in your first, you have a department head meeting, you can, in December, go over those forms with them. How do you fill them out? How is it done? All at the same time.
Yeah, the department
that
heads
would be
they know how to fill it out, but again, this year, I'm gonna push a little bit harder if it's not done correctly or there's a lack of information, I will push back that it needs to be filled out to our expectations.
It's the definition, the wording. People interpreted the wording on the form to mean different things. They all put in the stuff, it was in their budget documents, but it wasn't, if it was vendor software, that wasn't always where it should have been on the expense side. It could be all over because they consider it differently from how the select board and or the FinCom and each of us individually expected it to be. It was all different. So, but anyway, in here we had, so this was the 10/21 meeting. Financial forecast presentation, November 19th. I had streamlined template on 11:05. We can move that to the 19th. This is from the minutes from last time. And there was something else that was the 19th. I think it was
The organizational.
Personnel policies and procedures starting the 19th. ClearGov. The board expressed interest in seeing a demonstration of ClearGov at their November 19th meeting when the financial team would be present. So it'd be great to have that demo on the same day. So these are the things for the 19th. It's the first one in the green, which is the documents. It's the third one.
You see what I mean?
Under
It really
leadership goals. If we
should
have
all be
those
under budget.
all there, yeah.
Under one category.
Exactly.
Because I personally will get lost with I'm not looking at it as, no offense, Nelson, I'm not looking at it as a leadership goal. I'm looking at it as a select board goal. Leadership is a soft skill you analyze in an annual review.
Right.
It's inherent in the budget goals, in the select board goals.
So that's what that's what I'm expecting on the 19th. So these are, it's a meeting with the finance committee and the whole finance team. And I don't mind if they're virtual or in person.
I think the finance team, I'm meeting with them tomorrow. I might just be able to distill everything into some sort of memo versus having them come. I can.
I would like to have them present for questions. That's me. I don't know about anybody else. I ask a lot of questions.
Well, I thought that was the idea when we wanted to have that done last month. When we booked it for the 19th, and that was to give enough time to get them together and let them know what we wanted.
Okay.
And so
I'll
We can do that earlier so that.
And because we have the finance team,
Earlier
the
in
finance
the
So that if
committee.
they are staying, you know
An
what I mean?
earlier meeting? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We're used to that.
So it would be for financial predictions for FY '27, for the documents that department heads are gonna fill out for their budget, and also a demonstration of ClearGov software.
Okay, I'll talk to the rep to see if they're available.
And anything else that anybody else?
No, that's what we discussed and yeah, and I think just, I almost see it, Veronica, like, and I'm sure you know what I was saying, like, here's our goal, there's budgeting, and there's basically like these categories underneath it,
Yeah.
and those change.
So it's not gonna be a block report, it's gonna be a goals report. And it's gonna be for the 4 things that we have, the
Primary.
budgeting, DPW, the regionalization,
And then, what was it?
HR.
Human resources, yeah. And then the secondary goals could be almost just a blank place
2
for
more things.
policies and communication.
Do you wanna start the meeting on the 19th, like at 4? Only because it might be easier
For the employees.
the employees.
I'm good with that. But I'm not opposed to employees attending virtually.
I'm not either. No, it's fine.
So if that's better, I don't know if it's better to have them here at 4 and do the meeting then, or
start
to
at 3.
have them after dinner, you know, to do
And
the
Nelson can
meeting.
get a sense of that. And
Yeah,
I'm fine either way.
I'm good either way.
All right,
All right,
it's the
I'll
19th,
talk to
right?
them. It's-
You can poll them and see what would be good for them.
Yep, yeah, I think the finance committee, that's gonna be
We can change the
harder
date.
to get everyone together, but I'll see what I can wrangle together.
Well, if it can't be the whole committee, it doesn't have to be the whole committee.
Right, and at that point, it might-
Whoever can deliver the message, right?
Right.
but, yep, I'm working on, sort of the forecast. It's not looking good, let's put it that way. But I think
Probably ought to-
Whatever
we
it
all-
is, we need to look
Yeah.
at it.
We
and-
all expected it not to be good, but I'm still looking at some numbers. I do wanna say, it's a forecast. Everything is based on assumptions, that I
Right,
simply don't have the answers to. I have no idea what the school assessment's gonna come in at. We have, multiple union contracts expiring. I don't know what the COLA and STEP is gonna end up at, so.
but we have to, yeah, we don't know that, but we have to at least see what is it that we can afford.
Yeah,
'Cause we'll be looking at, close a day, remove departments, whatever.
I mean,
Well,
we,
I
The
don't,
rising, we're not gonna have the growth.
well, let's not, talk about options just yet, but, we will, at least we'll take a look at the numbers and see
well,
what they come in at. But
the assessor, the treasurer, the accountant, they should all be able to help with the picture of the town and where we think we're going. And I have a concern about Starbucks because there's a real estate sign in the window, and I looked at it and thought Summit Realty or something.
Oh,
Call us,
that's the owner of the plaza.
right,
Summit is the owner of it owns the plaza.
right. So are they just advertising space in that empty building? Or is Starbucks not coming anymore? I don't mean to alarm the world, but
It
But-
would.
but it's for, I'm looking at it as, receipts.
Planning might know something, but I haven't heard.
Okay, so they are still coming for sure.
Well, I don't know if tomorrow's for sure,
Okay,
okay, but
so why is that
They got a
sign
permit.
in the
I
window
have
of
no
that
idea,
building?
but that is the owner of the plaza.
Okay, all right,
Apologies.
No apology necessary,
okay.
we're still here.
So anyway, so we've moved the October 31, 2025 to the 19th. Okay, so I'm gonna get all these into the way we talked about it, and then there's policies and there's communications. All right, all right.
Okay, so are we done with 5.2 for the moment?
Yep. Thanks for bringing that in there, Veronica. You
And this
get
is,
what I'm
yes,
saying,
I
right?
do.
Okay.
And I kind of like that. I looked at this and,
Yeah,
so, it would be, I think for our purposes, that would be, good. And,
What happened to them?
and I am good with reviewing this on a bi-weekly,
That's- that- no, that's
on a
fine.
bi-meeting you know,
Yeah.
every other meeting.
Yeah.
Or the last meeting
Isn't
of the
that
month,
monthly?
or something, monthly.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, bi-weekly and monthly are the same thing, I think, for us. Anyway, okay, and we still need a review document to agree upon. This is good for, but for what does it look like in the end?
And I would think, I wonder if MMA and those groups probably have something.
Well, we have what we used with Eric, I know that.
I would think that they would have a pretty standard, I mean, I can reach out to them and see if they have
Yeah,
any.
you wanna do that?
Yep.
Okay. All right, and so put this back on for the 19th, please. Is that okay, Laurie? This same 5.2, and
Yes,
we'll have a new form.
yes.
Okay. And I'll
5.2
work with
November
Callie to
19th.
get things into place.
Yes, no problem.
Okay.
5.3, discuss town Facebook page. Well, we have one.
I'm on Facebook, so.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, people have been asking, about the Facebook page, and Nelson found it. It's not used. It is, oh, but it had 74 followers. Look at that. And there's probably something on here that shouldn't be on here. I'm not sure what the intent was, but our intent, my understanding, is that it's informational only and not a place for dialogue.
Well,
Make
I
it
think,
no comments.
no comments.
That's
and
what
I'm
most
good with
towns
that.
do, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am good with that, and for starters, I think we should, anything that goes into the announcements on the webpage, I
Can go on
think should
Facebook.
also go on the Facebook page, for starters.
Yeah, for those
And
that don't
then
go
we
to the
can
website.
grow from there.
Yeah.
But people that don't look at the website and don't sign up for the alerts when something gets posted would still get the information if in fact they're Facebook users. So I think that's a place to start. I know we don't have a media policy that directly addresses what's allowed on Facebook, but I think that there's nothing objectionable to doing that. If it gets posted here, it should get posted on the Facebook page.
Okay.
Here being the
I don't-
website.
I'm not sure if you have this in your packet, because that just got printed before. And I would say, I just want you to take a gander at it. No comment necessary.
I would
And-
like to see that too.
Okay,
And who
So-
can post on it? So who would do the posting?
well, so what Nelson found out was that it was actually done by Harrison,
It was.
okay, while he was doing the
Yes.
website work. So he has control of that. And I think that we should have it back,
I do too.
okay? And I think it should be in the select board, come out of the select board's office.
All right, so then, I would make a motion that we begin using the, Town of Townsend Facebook page.
Wait, hold on, I'm not sure if we can use it until we have a social media policy.
Why is that if no comment is necessary? The only thing that's gonna be on it is notices, like what police does and fire does, is just to put information out, voting day, whatever.
Right,
It's
Or
not gonna be a
nobody-
dialogue.
I don't know the legality or specifics right now, but I thought it needed a policy in place, so I don't know the answer.
Well, I think we can start with a motion to have access.
yes,
And
okay.
we need to do that.
I would like, okay, then I, Veronica Cal, move that the access to the Facebook page be, moved to the town administrator, select board chair, and, select board administrative assistant. that I'm putting on you, Laura.
Yeah,
Um,
okay, thanks.
And that the, any contents on the page, be posted with no comment.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
Who are
I'd
you?
like to say-
Valerie Goodrich, second. Do we want the chair of the select board on there? Or just town administrator? Not that I don't trust you, but
We could do just the.
Yeah, we
town-
can do
I'm-
just the town administrator.
Lori's
and the-
good with that, so I didn't want
I
to
was
leave
gonna say,
out the
I would
select
think
board.
that it's one of those day-to-day administration things where
Yeah, I'd
Okay,
rather
I'm
have,
good with
the
I'm
that.
good.
select board is separate from.
I'm good.
All right, I modify that we get the, we have the access to the page changed such that the administrators are the town administrator and
His
the
assistant.
select board administrative assistant. And that,
Anything posted
posting-
has to go through them.
anything posted has to go through them and has to be posted with no comments.
Maybe we can get the comment that's on there.
Can I see
Do
it?
you have a second to that?
Seconded. To the mo-
Who are you?
Valerie Goodrich, seconded. Sorry, enthusiastic.
Any further discussion?
No. The amount of times I have to say my name now, AI.
No further discussion. Roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, I.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
And Laura Schiff and I. So Nelson, can you take care of making sure that's done? Okay, so now next. Town council policy 5-4. This was discussed last time, that we would come back with.
I put
Yep.
one on there that, there's yours and now there's mine too.
Oh, you have another one?
Yeah, and we might want to modify yours. I wasn't
No, this
sure.
is what I got from Sabrina as part of the agenda today. Is there another one?
Yes. I replied to her.
Oh,
So if you go onto the
I don't have that.
SharePoint. Which is this?
Yours is the draft.
Um,
2025. No,
No, that is,
That's
mine is the
Lori's.
top one, mine's 11/2025. But we could also modify the one that Laurie put up there, she's the draft,
yeah, that's what I was looking at.
okay? So I would add a point, let me pull up what Laurie has there.
can I get it printed?
Do you want to make copies of this?
Sure.
Let me take my, I just made one at home and then I put it in. And make it for all of us.
Supermarket. I'm not sure if I want to specify that it has to be virtual or phone call.
The what? No, I think that,
I mean, we can all do our best for that, but I think I could see times when the select board would actually.
well, I think only the select,
Does Nelson and Bill have copies?
no, they need them as well.
No,
So make,
I don't need copies, I have it.
You have it?
What, are we going to mark it up? Is that the goal?
yes, yeah,
Yeah,
and that way we can look at one online and have one hard copy.
I can't even look at copy. I'm serious, the
That
thing's
one's
two-sided,
confusing. That one will be
and I don't wanna
confusing.
break your copy.
I would say more than anything, it's just confusing some of the settings.
Okay, I'm back to Candy.
Yeah, I have,
I wish there were more Skittles.
oh, I brought more.
It's okay.
I Everybody must like this. I'm gonna see if I can steal it for you.
Gonna steal Skittles for me?
Oh, eat Kit Kat.
Works, right?
We're on an unofficial little break.
I'm gonna mute it for a second.
For the stapler, so you can shuffle it easier.
Thank you.
Shuffle, shuffle.
Shuffle. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, I should say this stuff enthusiastically.
Yeah,
Oh, I'll give this to him. Thank you so much, Sabrina.
you're very welcome.
You have the meeting minutes like that.
Okay, I didn't touch the request form.
Old business. Use of town council.
Mhm.
Okay, so I am looking at the draft one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Lori's. Mhm. All right, so are we back in session?
Mhm.
I would add under the sole exceptions to this rule are, and I want to go back up to the top in a minute, but the sole exceptions to this.
Where are you going to?
rule, I'm on Lori's
Yes.
sole exceptions. She has 3, I have 4. The one that is different is my number 2. Any member seeking legal advice on a matter shall have direct access to town council. That's what is missing from hers.
Oh, you added a 4.
I added a 4, which I made number 2. And then I made your 2.
But why does your
3.
top part look longer than mine?
Well, because I put in, I differentiated between general counsel and labor and litigation.
Okay.
So
And
town
you can-
council,
Oh, okay, I'm good with that.
see, I disagree with your first sentence. That town council services shall be virtual or via phone call only other than town meeting. There may be times when we want
Okay.
to have town council present. So what I have,
I'm
didn't
okay
I?
with removing it.
I would make it, town council services is preferred, the town council services be virtual or via phone call.
At the end of that paragraph.
And I would put it at the end of, I would put it above the sole exception. So I'm changing things in Laurie's. So, so I would take her, the town council services shall be virtual and I would take that sentence.
Are you editing this right now?
I probably shouldn't, should I?
Is Nelson? Does Nelson have it?
I have it, do you,
I mean, I
Okay.
can.
We're gonna, so only one person should be doing it in the SharePoint, not all of us.
It's
Correct?
up to you.
So, okay. Do you want to do it or you want Nelson to?
I want Nelson to.
Okay, go for it.
So,
This is
the
Lori's.
first sentence, the town council services shall be virtual or via phone call. Take that full sentence and move it down above the sole exceptions.
and
Below the sole section,
make it number
sole
4?
exceptions,
No, above that, the sole exception,
above,
right where your cursor is popping, put it there. Yeah, and take out, put town council services, it is preferred that
The
town
town council, yeah.
council services
Be virtual or by
be
phone call.
virtual or via phone call, period.
We don't need to mention they have to be there for 10 minutes.
Is that in the beginning or
At the beginning of the sentence, that yellow highlighted sentence that you just moved.
Yep.
Put it is preferred that town council services.
Be virtual. You don't wanna have, or via phone call?
or via phone call,
Okay.
or via phone call. And you can remove the rest of it. Okay, under the sole exceptions, I want you to add a number 2, a line at number 2.
In the beginning of number 2 or the end?
No, new number 2.
Oh.
2 becomes 3, 3 becomes 4. Okay, and that should be any member seeking legal advice on a matter shall have direct access to town council. The select board members should be able to call town council.
Any member.
Seeking legal advice,
Any select board member.
yes, because these exceptions are only for the select board.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll go back and change Board of Selectmen to Select Board, but anyway. Number 2 is any member seeking legal advice on a matter shall have direct access to town council. Okay, now let me get my thing back here.
I'm gonna change the select. There's only one instance where it said select, I think.
Any member seeking legal advice on a matter shall have direct access.
That's number 2.
I mean, I think one of the things that this probably isn't part of policy is that new select board members should kind of understand, the cost with their interactions, just so they can be cognizant of that.
Actually, I
don't think
mentioned,
we have to state.
I mentioned that at yesterday's department head meeting. Use of town council was one of my agenda items, and I mentioned it to folks. Maybe they didn't realize that Adam's firm is now not using a flat fee model. It's, anytime their services are being used, they're gonna be charging us their rate. So I said, we need to be a little bit more judicious about when we use Adam and his firm. If it's something we can do in-house, find the answer some other way, we should, investigate those avenues before we engage with him. Because now that we're paying for everything, I feel like we just need to be a little bit more cognizant of when we talk to him.
There's that fine line too, I think, as a select board member, I'm realizing first using it cautiously versus also knowing when, okay, yeah, this makes sense, you actually do sometimes need the contact. Try to avoid it, but
I haven't talked to him for a long time.
no.
Well, I haven't talked to him. Since October 1st.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking at the policy here, because I split it out, and I guess we don't have to, but all boards and commissions must have a vote authorizing the request before authorization. When you say, okay, policy, a request for legal services form must be filled out and returned to the select board's office before the use of legal counsel can be utilized. This process is necessary in order to track expenses and for budgeting purposes. So there should be a 4 FOR before budgeting.
Track expenses and for budgeting purposes.
This form must be submitted to the board's office. We've already said that. And authorization must be obtained from the town administrator and or their designee before the use of legal counsel can be accessed.
So we can take out the beginning of that sentence, though. This form must be submitted to the select board's office.
Right, you can take that out and just start with authorization in that sentence. All boards and commissions, so let me, other than the board, than the select board, must have a vote authorizing the request before authorization will be provided. So take out the other at the beginning there. It should just be all boards and committees other than the Board of Selectmen,
You're replacing selectmen
the select board.
all over? There's a few.
Yeah, we're editing yours.
Yeah.
We're editing yours,
Okay.
because there's a ton of them on mine. All boards and commissions, other than the select board, must have a vote authorizing the request before authorization is provided. So does this make sense? Does the order we have it? A request for legal services form must be filled out and returned to the select board office before the use of legal counsel can be utilized. This process is necessary in order to track expenses and for budgeting purposes. Authorization must be obtained from the town administrator and or the clerk before town council can be accessed. All boards and committees. I think that paragraph should go after the sentence, all boards and commissions other than the select board must have a vote authorizing the request before authorization is provided, but maybe not. I don't know. What do you guys think? And I think that captures it. And whether it's labor or litigation,
I kind of think that's irrelevant.
the difference is that general questions, that it wasn't an authorization or an approval. It was more of a notice. If you have the vote for labor council, it's an approval.
Yep.
But we can leave it this way and just make it an approval for everything.
Because town administrator would be pretty much the only one count for labor.
Right.
Good.
Not necessarily. It could be, personnel or discipline.
Oh, yeah,
related.
you would be involved in that probably.
You would think, but I think some boards or commissions might be a little bit,
You should be.
Would that be Callie?
That would be
If not
Callie.
you?
Because I don't, other than the library trustees, everybody reports up to you, even if they have a board or commission that they also work with.
Right.
So that board or commission should not be working with labor council unless,
You know about it.
Right,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
neither should the department head,
yeah.
Yeah,
unless there's a
nothing else.
vote from their board.
Yeah, yeah.
So a department head cannot directly access.
But I don't think
without a
any
vote.
one of
Well, it
those
still has
boards.
to be approved by Nelson.
Yes,
If their board votes. it's that-
exactly, but there needs to be a board vote, so, before town council, this is the way it used to be.
Mm.
Before we had Adams, so when we had KMP law, when I was on conservation and when I was on planning board, this is the way it was. You didn't access town council unless you had a vote from the board. And your administrator or you would vote, whether it's the administrator or the chair, who would request fill out the authorization
Can this
form.
be made to go on the same form? One page?
I'm sure.
yeah, we can change with the margins and things like that,
Yeah.
make sure it fits. So I guess my only concern is, if the boards and commissions or committees need a vote, some of them don't meet that often, maybe something pops up,
They have to vote. someone's placement of something on a wetland was, allowed, and we wanted to talk to town council, we had to meet and vote about that. Things didn't pop
I
up.
think the
so
goal
much.
there is that other members of the board may have the information. And working in a group may be able to figure it out without
Yes, that's right.
going to council.
So the idea is to use council as little as possible.
Right.
But when legally necessary.
Correct. I mean, a lot of the questions I think that I don't know, but caused the change in structure were because a lot of the questions that were being asked were not necessarily legal questions.
Okay.
So we can look at this and think about it. What form are we using?
The one he just edited.
Yeah.
The one that's,
Or you mean the
you and I
request
had
form?
different request forms.
I was going with the one that was up there.
In Laurie's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the other one too much?
I just pulled out what was there for
Before?
I mean, this one requests that you're gonna call or email town council for a discussion, general legal services, it kind of spells it out more. The one that's in mine,
So we don't have office hours anymore.
there are no office hours, no, does mine have office hours on it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where?
well, the
Oh,
second one,
office hours with town council for discussion. Yeah, we could take that out.
well, that would shorten the form a little.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? No, we'd take out the footnotes that were a problem. I was thinking, how do I get rid of those footnotes? It would take that out. So just the second one under general legal services and the second one under labor or litigation, legal services. I mean, we tried to have everybody, this was before, have everybody use the office hours as much as possible. And it really did
So it was
until
a
this
deal.
year. It cut down on the amount of calls that you still had to fill out this if you wanted to
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
But I think people have just been picking up the phone and calling. Or have you been getting requests on forms from department heads?
A few times it's been more informal, like, the employee would come up to me. It's mainly in land use, like Beth has a planning board or ZBA type question. And, she, I think a good example was, I think the planning board had a meeting earlier this week, was it? And she wanted to talk to Adam about something, hoping to get an answer before the meeting started. For life of me, I can't remember what the topic was.
The 59 Brookline?
I don't recall what it was about.
But in any
Okay, whatever.
event, now what she has to do is get a vote from her board. The board has to look at whatever it is.
See if
and
they know.
See if they know, and they may. There are experienced people on that board.
I
And
remember years ago voting
yes,
to let whoever.
access town council,
Yeah.
whether it was the administrator or it was the chair, that's how it used to work.
And I would think in most circumstances, it would be the administrator on the board, like the employee,
Mhm.
they have the time.
But
Okay.
it still requires that the planning board has to say, yes, we want, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. Okay, sorry, I messed that up.
I don't think we need, I like this form, it spells stuff out.
Right,
but we would be eliminating
that one
here
and
and
that
this
one, yes.
I'm not sure why the signature is between these if you're gonna be doing a check mark, it's gonna be
You can put it down at the
at
bottom,
the
just
bottom
once.
only, okay.
Yeah, just once. But I like this, and this is the one that we used once, once we had Adam. So,
I'm good with that, are you good with that?
Yeah.
It just gives you all the details really that
Right.
you need.
I mean, do we want to get rid of the attendance? No, I guess if it's virtual, it's fine.
Unless it's a,
oh, I
Okay.
see, attend the
have
board
had-
or committee
we
meeting.
have had legal at planning board meetings, it really depends
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
no, I can understand that.
situation.
There might be some hearings that you would need them for.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and that's fine. Do you just want to say virtual attendance? Or, I mean,
Yeah.
they're,
we can do virtual,
Yeah, that's,
because really, and
Virtual
they're at night,
attendance.
and you're talking about 2 hour,
yeah,
2 hour drive.
yeah,
anyway,
let's
so-
just say virtual attendance.
because one of the things I know when I was talking to him about this too, he also mentioned that sometimes his attendance would be requested and he would say virtual or in person, he wouldn't get an answer. So he assumed in
In
person
person,
when he
No, so
didn't
now
get a
it's just
response.
virtual.
yeah,
So the default is virtual.
Yeah,
yeah. So let's get this policy, written up, look at it again and vote it on the 19th.
yes. Yes.
Think about it if there's anything else that needs to be added or changed.
Well, do you still have to have the third page?
What's the third page?
Well, the one that was on mine?
I think we only need this one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't
This
know
was,
if we
it
need,
looked like it was a follow-up.
It's like statute not reviewed, state agency resources
Yeah, it looks
available.
like a follow-up as to where this topic is. Do you think we need that? I mean, it would come with this bill if you end up, if it's used. What do you think? It's the follow-up do you think this is necessary?
I do think there's an interesting thing about here, which is I feel like their state agency resource available or assistance from another community may be available is an interesting
yeah, it is.
addition because like I know there's been times when I've been like, oh geez, what's that? And sure enough, it's on, MMA or GLS or DOR.
Maybe this is what we want to do instead of the request for counsel was or was not accepted, you may or may not contact counsel. Instead of having that line, do this last page. Because that's your above request was forwarded to town labor council. He's gonna wanna see that before he talks to the person.
Mm-hmm.
A returned request for the following reason. So the request was returned to whoever requested it. In other words, denied.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
State agency resource.
To
Yeah,
answer.
maybe include
answer.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Not the top part.
And I'm good with that. So let's just look at it one more time before we vote. So Sabrina can just, put that one form in there.
Yeah.
So who's gonna talk to Sabrina?
Oh, or.
I mean, Nelson,
or-
pretty much, we already edited
Or
it.
Nelson
Yeah.
can, no.
You've
done
already
it.
edited, you took out the second one about office hours.
And then, so this stays as it
And
is.
that's-
So,
Stays,
yeah, I
yeah.
was a little bit confused because there's two documents. I know we were editing the language itself, but then you went to the forms.
The forms come out of mine. The
Is
one
this
form.
yours? I
Yes,
don't know whose is
yes,
whose.
that's mine.
So it would be this form and this last page,
The document that you edited, and then
which is this.
the-
This list.
With
Yes,
edits, Lori has
with the edits
there.
This goes
Lori
bye-bye.
has.
That's easy enough to edit, that one, because you're just removing two things, erasing a couple lines and just putting your signature on the bottom.
Okay.
And
And then
then
that one,
this one,
that you give back to them, or
yeah,
you can forward
That's your
the request
response.
to,
All right.
Adam. The second page gets forwarded to Adam.
and this you already have because,
Yeah, so I need to do some reshuffling of things, so let me, yeah. All right.
so first reading on the 19th.
First reading on the 19th,
Sounds
second
good to me.
reading on the 2nd, hopefully. December 2nd.
Yep.
At our meeting.
Okay. And, okay, when we talk about dates a little bit later, because I looked at my calendar, I'm wondering if you want to meet on the 9th, which is later in the month. So 2 weeks in a row in December.
We have a joint meeting supposedly with the Board of Health on the 9th. That's the joint meeting that we submitted the questions on
Oh,
could do
November
it all
12th.
that.
I could, can we meet and do some stuff that night after
Could
them?
do that.
I don't mind doing that. You mean instead
I'm
of
not gonna
doing it
be-
on the 19th?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
That's fine. But, you
I'm leaving on
know,
the 10th.
actually, that's better for me, you know? Because
Can we
we're going
change
out
that
to
to the 9th then?
Bellingham, and my husband is staying an extra week, and I
Right.
was coming back specifically for that meeting on the
Oh, no,
19th.
don't. I'm not coming back.
Okay, so let's do the 2nd and the 9th.
I mean, I would
But-
do Zoom, but
we have, does that work for what we need for budgeting for Nelson, for you, Nelson? Does that work if we meet on the 2nd and the 9th instead of the 2nd and whatever the date was?
I don't
forget.
mind
We're supposed
doing the other one
On the 16th.
virtual, just for budgeting,
If we need to,
if we
put one
need
in
to.
there.
I mean, it was scheduled for the 17th. I don't.
17.
Yeah, probably because of the date that
Wednesday.
I was coming back.
Yeah.
I'm gone Wednesday to Tuesday, from the 10th to the,
Let's do the 2nd and 9th, and if we need another meeting, we'll book it
okay.
for
And
December.
it would probably
Thank you.
mean the two of us would be virtual,
It's all right.
because if we have that other one,
Yep.
I'll probably stay out.
You should.
Then we have to come back and we'll come back at all.
You could be all virtual chair.
We could.
I do like it in person, but if we need something, we can do it virtual.
Right.
Yeah, and especially the winter, who knows what it's gonna be. Especially if we don't have any phone. Here's my other stuff. We just did
5-5.
5-5 and then.
Oh,
No, we
Okay.
did 5-4.
Oh,
we
excuse
We're on
me,
5-5.
5-4.
I'm not talking anymore.
I messed myself up here.
We're on the postage machine.
So,
No, I'm not, I lost my second page.
It's there somewhere.
I know, do you have it? Yep. Oh, go for it. Oh,
You want me to make a motion?
yes.
5-5?
Yeah.
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve the Quadient postage machine contract as presented and authorize the town administrator to sign on the select board's behalf.
Veronica Cal second.
Is there any discussion?
No? Looks good to me.
Not, I think we talked about that before. Roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. Tony, how did I lose that?
Do you want me to go for 5.6, it's all those licenses?
Yes.
Okay. I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve and sign outside of a meeting by signature stamp All 2026 renewals for
Hold
common.
Did you have, in that last motion, did you have Nelson signing ours?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So 5.6, I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve and sign with signature stamp outside of a meeting all 2026 renewals for common vittler licenses contingent upon receipt of required documentation and payment for the following businesses in Townsend doing business as Sophia's Pizzeria, Sweet and Salty, Hannaford Supermarket, Cherry Hill Ice Cream 2, Coast Cafe and Catering, Ice Cream Factory, McNabb's, Townsend Ridge Country Club, Northern Spy Golf Club, Dunkin' Donuts on Main Street, Mr. Mike's Mobile Gas Station, Townsend Run and Gov Club, Gourmet Donuts, Townsend House, Ease Village, Panda Walk, Patriot Pista, Bouillon Bistro, Rainbow Preschool, Hafner's Gas Station, Cloud9 Nutrition, Dunkin' Donuts on Elm Street, McDonald's, Pizza Pizzazz, Bailey's Bar and Grill, and VFW Post 6538.
Veronica Cal second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 5.7,
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve and sign outside of a meeting all 2020, I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve and sign with signature stamp outside of a meeting all 2026 renewals for class 1, 2, 3 licenses contingent upon receipt of required documentation and payment for the following businesses in Townsend doing business as Barrow Enterprises, Joe's Auto Body, MJS Metals, Harbor Auto Body, Shepherd Sales and Service, and Townsend Board.
Veronica Cal second.
any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye.
5.8,
Yep, 5.8,
I, Valerie Goodrich, move to approve and sign by signature stamp outside of a meeting all 2026 renewals for entertainment licenses contingent upon receipt of required documentation and payment for the following businesses in Townsend doing business as Ease Village, Northern Spy Golf Club, VFW Post 6538, the Townsend House, Bailey's Bar and Grill.
Veronica Cal second.
any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin,
Okay, now I am missing a third.
It's on this back.
Oh, it's there. Okay, thank you.
aye. 5.9. 5.9, I don't have.
It's on the
Sending,
back side of that.
yeah, I have this, but I found my what's my agenda.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't have a document.
I
No,
don't
there
think there's
isn't.
anything in there, but I
Oh.
will talk about the emergency assistance fund policy. For now, Sabrina has been working with council on that. And those funds, that policy has been in place since 2014. And we updated it when we had the ARPA funds and had a community services coordinator. And anyway, without that in place, there are some confidentiality concerns and real concerns. And I think town council just needs more time with it. So I think there is an active request currently. And I think that right now I'd like to just put the policy on pause until we get from council.
Yeah.
More of a,
Do you need a
I
motion
think-
for that?
yeah, I think so.
I would make a motion to put a pause to the emergency assistance funds policy pending future council review.
And then Veronica Cal second. It's really bad timing, especially what's going on in the United States right now, but
I think, I don't think we have the updates on any right now.
No.
No.
These are all, they are in the works. He has them, town council has the policies. So my suggestion would be just, they're all going to go to the next meeting.
Yeah, but on this one, I just want to pause it because it might take a little more time and effort. We
Okay,
might have
fine.
to decide how much we want to,
And
unless you have an update.
I don't, but it reminds me, I think I have a folder for you,
You do.
and I've been meaning to give it to you, and I keep
Do not
forgetting.
give it to me. I raised a confidentiality concern about this, because I knew how we did it when ARPA funds were in place, and the coordinator kept, confidential records, et cetera, et cetera. How is that gonna be handled in the office? And quite frankly, I don't wanna be involved with it in this current climate at all.
You mean reviewing the request?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Then.
And dispersing funds and any questions that could arise from that.
Then what is that, where does that leave us then?
That leaves us on pause, which means that, the requester will need to be notified. And until we have an answer to that,
Mhm.
Okay,
there's,
okay,
it's on pause.
Okay, understood.
That whole program is on pause until the wills need to be reviewed, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
Because now we're just looking at the wills, we're not looking at ARPA
right,
disbursements.
right, you're right.
And not that we gave out any ARPA funds, but we did have a coordinator who kept confidential records,
Right.
et cetera, and open meeting. I'm not discussing any of this
Oh, no,
Okay.
of course not.
for a person in an open meeting. And then how do you go into executive session on it?
Okay, we need to concur.
And, we really, the way it was handled, even in 2014,
So it shouldn't be us
and
that
in
are meeting on it,
2019,
probably.
and in 2020, was that these meetings didn't get posted.
Oh,
They didn't. Even in Cindy King's time, these
Yeah.
meetings were not posted. I didn't even know that these funds existed.
No, this is the first time. When you put
Yeah.
that on there is when I was like, what is this?
Right, exactly. And so when Eric was here, we had the community services coordinator, we did, she worked with people who had requests, mostly she sent them places. But it becomes a quagmire.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in being involved in a quagmire. I don't think any of us are.
no,
And so we need council to sort that out.
Okay.
And we may need to discuss whether we just put it on permanent pause, or whether we want to spend the money as a town to sort it out and do it the way it should be.
Do you know how
Adam,
much is in this?
off the top of
fund?
my head, no. But it's monies that were left in wills to the town for distribution to the worthy poor. So we changed that to emergency assistance because.
would be poor subjective.
And in any event, those funds are still there, but, according to town council, they have to be voted on by town meeting to be dispersed.
Oh, geez.
And, I mean,
I think I worked on one of them with the ARPA person,
I think you
the
probably
last one that
did.
she did, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I thought all of that was vetted way back. But now we don't have a community services coordinator. We don't have, and it becomes, well, is it an open meeting or not an open meeting? Do we have to post it or not post it? And it becomes a quagmire.
Okay,
I
so
think
for the time
Cindy,
being, yes, Cindy, did you have some direct information on what we're speaking?
Yeah, so I wanted to, Veronica mentioned that the way we did it when I was on, there was a committee. I mean, it was a small, I can't remember the people that were on it, but there was just a couple of people And it included one member of the Board of Selectmen who would meet only when there was an application. And then
Exactly.
And then then the money was dispersed or not, depending on what the application was.
Right. And the question was, that committee, is that an open, did you post these as
No.
open? No, that's how it was always handled.
Right.
We've been getting a lot of open meeting violations, and so I asked the question,
Hmm.
and the answer is, oh boy, maybe it should have been posted. And it's the Abram French Committee were the other people.
Right.
And there's another Will, I can't remember all the names, but in any event, there's a question about that, and until that is sorted, I would prefer that this be on pause.
Okay, and we had a second,
Yes.
and who was that?
Oh, I first it, you seconded it. Well, let me
No,
read it again.
Valerie, no, Ronnie made the motion.
Did I? I thought I
Yeah.
did.
I made
Okay,
the
just
motion to
redo
pause.
it and
I
redo it with your
I
name,
value to
please.
make a motion to pause the emergency assistance funds policy pending council review.
Veronica Cal second.
Okay. And we had discussion. Thank you, Cindy. Roll call vote,
Veronica Cal, aye.
Value to Chai.
and Laura Schifrin, aye.
And I will reiterate that it's really a shame to do that at this point in time,
Yeah,
but
okay. And again, the rest of that 5.9 is with town council.
okay.
Work session. Town administrator updates and reports. Nelson?
Just a quick update on the town accountant position. The candidate that we, made an offer to, declined to take our offer. I went back to the interview panel, to see if we should try to re-engage with another candidate, which I have reached out to last Friday morning as well as Monday evening. Have not heard back yet, so I'm not gonna continue trying. So I think for the moment, things are on pause, because I don't think there weren't any other viable candidates out of the applicants that we received, and I don't think reopening the posting will net us any more favorable candidates. So I think for now, I'm happy with CBiz. We can try to maybe do a posting, in the late winter, early spring, see, if other candidates pop up.
I know a lot of corporate runs February 1st for their fiscal year often. So if you do it, if they have corporate layoffs ever usually happen in, start of the new year.
Mhm.
So you might get more interest from.
Yep.
Just a thought.
So
Sad, but wait,
so that's kind of where we're at the moment with that position.
after the holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe January, February, we'll, potentially reopen the posting again. Tri-town meeting update. We actually had that this afternoon with Ashby and Purple. We kind of continued the conversation about fire EMS regionalization. They're looking to bring 3 more towns into the conversation. That was actually, I just got an email this evening during our meeting, that there's gonna be another TA meeting at Pepperell Town Hall next Thursday morning. So we're inviting the 3 additional communities, which I believe will be Tingsboro, Littleton, and Air. And then from there, we'll
It's okay, let
Okay.
them do their thing. Yeah.
So after that, whoever is still looking to have an additional conversation will now bring the fire chiefs into the mix for the subsequent meeting. We also talked about the school budget a little bit, as you know, we've sent a letter out on behalf of the 3 towns to the school district, asking for not only a reduced assessment for this year, but also letting them know that all 3 towns only have basically this amount of money that we can provide to you.
That letter did say 2.5%, correct?
2.6, if I remember correct.
What
I
was your question?
forget the exact number, because,
The amount stated in the letter.
I think it was
Oh,
2.6.
Yeah,
yeah, and we also,
Just get this right.
I could probably find that letter. I didn't have my outlook.
Yeah, we said 2.6, yep. So, and we even gave a dollar amount, basically, we can, it amounts to, an increase of, $1,067,072 in new.
Total
In new total,
for all
for 3 towns,
yeah,
right?
so we kind of laid it out in black and white, like, this is how much we can truly afford. We're still gonna have monthly meetings with the superintendent's office. I think we're gonna try to provide to them maybe even a 5-year outlook, which kind of goes hand in hand with me, doing financial forecasts for the select board. I'm just pushing out, everything out to like, year 2 through 5. At that point, those numbers are very wiggly, it's rooted in reality, but again, who knows what's gonna happen 5 years out? It's really just a projection or forecast, and, even slight changes can have pretty big, swings downstream, so, again, it is, we can defend it, but at the same time, some of those numbers, could potentially drastically change, in the out years. So I think those were kind of the 2 big ticket items that we talked about. We also talked about, other potential regionalization opportunities that have come up, since I've started, I'm constantly talking to Ashby and Pepperell about, certain ways of doing things. When we lost a land use coordinator, I reached out to Pepperell and I spoke to the Pepperell planner, that's their version of a land use coordinator. Had a good conversation, but things just didn't work out, and certainly even when Katie left, I reached out to Pepperell to see if there was any opportunity there, and there just wasn't.
Yeah, I think a lot of these things have to be more formal from the TA because, going to the individual is great, but often they don't,
Well, I work,
Yeah.
I work with the TA first, and then, if there's a right opportunity, they will then, send me the particular individual that we might be able to work with. So, but nothing concrete has come up, but we certainly try every time there's a vacancy or, a retirement or anything like that, so.
I'm gonna back up to the fire thing. I just wanna say that I really think someone in that group should be talking to the Collins Center to see if help could be used in regionalization at some point, because the MMA Small and Rural Town Conference last spring was about regionalization of EMS services, not fire, but EMS services. And Collins Center was one of the presenters. And they do, that is one of the things that they provide for towns. There's a cost associated, but there, if money is coming in from the state, maybe there's money that can be used for that.
Yeah, and
I wonder
Pepperell,
if they would go to one of the meetings for the TAs.
Sure.
I just think it's a good idea.
I don't know, but I mentioned, the Collins Center to Pepperell, and they're gonna look into, engaging with them, so I think that may very well be, you know, a source for us to, you know, really, get engaged with these, EMS regionalization talks.
My impression is that each town, fire department and EMS department, has a culture. And it's the blending of the cultures that will be the biggest difficulty.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think it has to be done,
Those words were said today.
carefully.
Mhm.
And I think that having an outside entity, not the TA of this place or the TA of this place, is the way to go. To have someone from the outside.
And to understand that the goal is financial in the circumstances
I
And-
think for
and sharing of resources, but we're all kind of in a position where
Absolutely.
these are the types of things that we don't have a lot of space in our budgets, and if we all kind of are doing more work together, I think might be something there.
Right.
Understood. So I don't think we set up a subsequent meeting yet, a follow-on meeting, so I'll check with, you know, the tri-town.
Mm-hmm.
I know that was something we wanted to have on a regular basis, so, but we didn't set up a next meeting, so I'll reach out.
Well, you have enough to do in just trying to get this one thing with the TAs, and then after that, it's the same thing with the fires, and then there can be a report after that.
So I think Sabrina has started populating the monthly departmental reports, you know, for the select board to take a look at.
Mm-hmm.
We certainly, you know, this is not the venue to be discussing each and every report, you know, line by line, but, you know, certainly review it whenever you have time, and if there's questions or, you know, things of interest, you know, you can either reach out to me or the department head directly for additional information.
I
So
thought they were all interesting.
they are, you know.
They're doing a lot of stuff. I mean, I've just read 3 today, but.
So, you know, please review them, you know, whenever you can. I think you can learn quite a bit about sort of, you know, on a month-to-month basis, kind of the ebbs and flows and the, you know, the responsibilities and projects that, you know, each department is, you know, is doing. So it's definitely an interesting read.
Mhm.
So, you know, like I said, this is not really the venue to be discussing each report line by line, but if there are questions or things that come up, you know, we can certainly bring it up. You can bring it up to me, you know, offline.
Mhm.
And the last thing I had, this is related to, you know, an unfortunate incident we had with a First Amendment audit that happened last Tuesday, not this yesterday, but last Tuesday. It certainly was not a pleasant experience, and a town employee actually felt uncomfortable enough to call the police department, and, you know, they came and sort of diffused the situation. You know, I've sent out guidance from the Adams office, you know, on how to deal with First Amendment audits. So it's some really good information and advice in that memo. And I think we've taken measures since then to sort of segregate, you know, public space versus, you know, authorized personnel and private spaces as well. A lot of offices have signs up, even physical barriers, you know, to sort of, again, segregate, you know, truly public space versus, you know, employee-only areas. The one space that I think we might need to improve on is actually the select board's area. There's actually 2 doors that are always propped open, you know, you'll see right out here. We're actually thinking about unpropping them, putting up a sign that says authorized personnel, and also including a like a wireless doorbell. So in case there's the public that wants to interact with either myself or Callie or Sabrina, they ring the bell and, you know, that'll get our attention and then we can come out and greet, you know, the public. It just creates a little bit more space, you know, between what is considered public and what is for employees and authorized personnel only. I think that will, you know, make those future interactions a little bit, you know, less chaotic.
What do you think about by appointment only, which is done in certain departments, in certain towns? Was one of the things that was brought up today.
Yeah,
Try.
I think a lot of folks, I think, want the flexibility to just drop into town hall and, you know, do their business, or if they have questions or concerns, they can just, you know, talk to someone and be greeted and assisted. And, you know, those are, you know, spur of the moment or, you know, as they have time. So, I think appointments makes a lot of sense in a lot of situations, but I think, making it appointment only might be too restrictive, I feel.
Would that authorized personnel include all board members? Like, I wouldn't want, you know, a member of finance who needed to come talk to someone to not be able to.
I think they would just ring the doorbell.
I think they should be able to come in freely. Certainly, town employees can. I would say this is really for the public.
Yeah.
You know, they're not part of any
No, elected.
any board, committee, or commission. Yeah, so it's just for the general public, I would say.
Or people sworn.
Do you know how it works in other town halls? Just curious.
In
If
terms
you go
of-
to Pepperell, do you have access to the town administrator easily, or? I haven't been there a long time, but
He's the one that brought up by appointment only.
just thoughts, just curiosity. How their offices
He
work.
wouldn't want people coming into his office. I went in there, recently, last couple of months. And I was gonna say hi, but I ended up talking to the secretary out front, and there's quite a distance, you know, before you can get to him. He wasn't there, you know,
But she has that accessible secretary.
with
Yeah.
a high desk and
Glass.
glass or plastic, whatever.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
So you
And
can't
you know when you
just
go-
walk into the TA's office?
No, you cannot.
And is that what happened here?
Yes.
Then went right into planning, conservation.
I thought conservation had a thing out there.
Well, now it's a little bit more. Like when I go in, I say, hi, it's just me. You know, I go around the table. I've been in there the last couple of days, but otherwise it's pretty obstructive.
All right, so do we need a motion?
Do we?
We need
Or
a
is
mo-
this,
We need a motion for the, changing, putting up a sign, changing the
I'm
door
just wondering if
entrance.
this is a us thing or if it's just a
He just
day-to-day
does it?
administration thing.
I'm gonna make a motion on this. I think
Okay.
there should be a motion.
Go ahead.
But do you wanna do it, Valerie?
No, it's fine. I'm just thinking, go ahead. You can make a
Go ahead.
motion, it's fine.
I, Veronica Cal, move to approve putting up select board door entrance signage and a doorbell as discussed at the double doors.
Seconded, sorry.
Who are you?
Valerie Goodrich, seconded.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffer and I. Thank you for doing that, Nelson. 6.2, liaison reports.
So for this one, from now on, to avoid any further OML complaints, the reports, you know, they have whatever, you know, board or committee that you are reporting on needs to be listed for It has to be listed on the agenda, otherwise you
So-
cannot discuss it.
So I uploaded for the open meeting law complaints, a whole bunch of examples. I took like 6
Yeah.
or 7 other surrounding
I
towns.
looked at 12 of them anyway.
Yeah, and every single one of them has report from board liaisons. That's it.
That's it. Oh my
And-
God, they're so
Yeah.
short.
Now Acton adds a page at the back that says, here's the possible list that you
That we could
could
talk
get an
about.
update from. And it's basically the board, it's the assignment list.
The
You know, you
We
would
can
be
do
reporting
that.
on this. I mean, we could add that in,
Mhm.
but I think the entire point of this is if a board, like say the library comes to me Monday and says, oh my gosh, we have a huge event Saturday, you have a select board meeting, can you announce it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
It's the, you know, holiday fair. And I take that, or there's, you know, I mean, there's so many possible little things that I wouldn't take this as, I don't look at a report from board liaison as like, let's discuss how this board is running.
Right. It's more of what happened.
It's
Or
just like,
what's gonna
oh, they
happen.
wanted this, you know,
It's not a debate kind of thing or a motion.
the council on
kind of thing.
aging had this really cool car wash.
Right.
And I guess the question is do I have to submit 40 hours before I want to mention the council on aging car wash?
I'm just going off of a recent OML complaint, and I can see the complaints continue unless we change things. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just stating the reality of it.
Well, this is how, I guess, people want us to spend staff time.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
doing
I do,
work.
Madam Chair, can I have some input on this? I think what I have to say can be very helpful. It's brief. All right, on
Right.
this, first of all, oh, my cat got in the way, sorry. My first comment is, you can contact the Attorney General yourself and ask this question in advance. And you can call either, the email is opengov, I think, whatever the email you get from them, it's opengov dot something. But you can email, and Harrison has the information if you need it from him, that you can also call them directly, but it's always a voicemail, but they will call you back, or you can do an email and ask them this question about this particular item number, the liaison report, and they will give you their answer. And I think it would be helpful rather than trying to second guess who's going to write an open meeting law complaint. Secondly, this is not something I would write a complaint about.
It
And
wasn't
I'm,
you, but I just, for the record, I'm not gonna say who it is, but it
oh,
was
I know,
not you.
no, I know, and I'm not either, I don't want to get into that, but the only thing that if you can, I mean, this particular item could be misused by a board now or in the future, and that somebody could write a legitimate open meeting law complaint if you use this to then do your report on the car wash at the senior center, and then and then have a vote on it, a vote of some other, you're gonna establish policies from that. That goes
Right.
off. But if you're just making the normal liaison announcements, hey, I went to the planning board and they're working on this thing, and, you know, it doesn't lead to a discussion, but you're just saying, you know, the finance committee wants to have a meeting. Oh, okay, you know, but don't get into voting on it. If it needs something to be a vote, it should be somewhere else in the agenda. But if you're just giving a basic announcements, then I don't think it's a problem, but I would say call the AGO or email them to open, whatever, I forgot the email
Well, there was
address.
an open meeting law complaint, so we'll find out one way or the other.
Yep.
Yeah,
no,
but I
that-
mean, it's easier to contact the AGO in advance before, you know, when you're trying to change a policy in order to prevent more. I know that might be a complaint now that you have to deal with, but for future agendas, call the AG, I mean, get a hold of the AG, they'll tell you what the right thing to do is on this particular question. I really think they're very helpful in advance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is one item I would push back on.
Yeah, me too.
So, you know, but for the time being, I don't wanna have to write another OML response, cause they take time, so,
I know.
so whatever is on the agenda, let's stick with it, cause again, I don't want to have another complaint and.
I won't be reporting
Okay,
from
and,
here on out. Why?
you're not
bother?
reporting.
Well, I did have some stuff, but
Oh, what did you?
what?
Well, no,
Me
no.
too, but
I-
never mind.
Yeah, like I said,
I
I will
will,
get clarification from the AGO's office
please do,
for
because
the
that's,
next meeting.
like I said,
but-
I really specifically looked
I
for
mean-
this particular item because I wanted, like, and I
It's
went
been like this for years.
I went
and
to,
we
like,
looked at things
20
before
other
we did it.
towns around
Right.
here, and there are elements that, yes, can be more thorough, kept up, but this is not, I don't think this board that since I don't have a lot of time on here, but we've never voted on
I don't
something.
I
think
don't
that we
think
have
we
voted
ever
on
have
any
voted on
policies
it. It's
during
just
our
a
liaison
report,
reports.
right.
Yeah. Anyway, for the moment, anyway, we've had long enough. I will go into, select board liaison to the Commission on Disability. Do I have a motion to,
Well, do we assign? We didn't assign? I didn't miss it
Oh.
on there.
maybe I'll have,
Yeah, that's fine.
Veronica do it. Do you want to do it? I can make the motion.
Oh,
No, I don't. wanna make the motion.
I can make it.
Okay, it's for you.
That's fine. I move to appoint, Valerie Goodrich, move to appoint myself as the liaison.
And you
to-
are?
Valerie Goodrich, as liaison to the Commission on Disability.
Okay, do I have a second?
Veronica Cass, second.
Okay, any discussion? I think she'll do a great job.
I have disabled members of my family, so it's fine. Many.
Okay, so hearing no further discussion anymore, no? Roll call vote,
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
and Laura Schiffer and I. Congratulations. You are now the liaison to the Disability Committee. Now, in saying that, we also have the updated, what that is, updated liaison list, which shows you on here. And I will also tell you that we will have let me finish with the disability thing first, I think. Community preservation, we will have the community preservation one coming on here.
Yeah, doesn't that have to be, I just got something on
And, well, I'm going to read,
that. Did that have to be the end of October? Did that have to be seated? Is that, am I incorrect?
I asked about that and they said, no, it's like next October or something.
Okay, so it's not,
Because the reporting that
very
had to be
confused.
done doesn't have to be done because we weren't, I don't know, because
So it
I
did-
was pushing
I-
for that.
I thought that we might have missed it and and it's not end of this October.
Apparently not.
liaison list.
Okay,
Okay, so I'm gonna go
really?
right into,
Well,
I got three.
Okay,
So you have the update on the liaison list.
okay.
And we'll have something else next month. So 6.3, announcements, communications, volunteer response forms, which, okay, we already did the volunteer response form discussion. We do have a new one. And we also have a new posting. I'm gonna list the vacancies that we have. Updated vacancies for the list of boards. So I'm gonna read the Community Preservation Committee, which is now was posted as of November 3rd. And
Okay, that's it. Sorry, go ahead.
Community Preservation Committee, there's 2 members to be appointed by the Select Board to fill 3-year terms. The new committee created at the May 7th, 2025 town meeting. The Community Preservation Committee, CPC, will be responsible for recommending proposals focused on either preserving Townsend's open space and historic sites, creating affordable housing, or developing outdoor recreation facilities. The funding for these projects will come from the 1% surcharge approved by the Townsend voters on November 5th, 2024. In addition to the 2 members appointed by the Select Board, there will be 5 additional members as selected by the following boards. And please listen, everyone, share this information because these following boards will need to meet and appoint someone to this committee. Conservation Commission, Townsend Historic District Commission, Cemetery and Parks Commission, Planning Board, and the Housing Authority. Other than that, the two will be two others appointed by the Select Board. When the Community Preservation Committee forms, a volunteer from the nonprofit organization Community Preservation Coalition will attend to give a tutorial on organizing a community preservation committee so that no experience is needed other than the desire to help our town. Typically, community preservation committees meet about once per month. So hopefully everybody, you can share that, Cindy, with everyone and let them know we have new forms now and we also have new positions available. I will also mention the other vacancies. Agricultural Commission has a vacancy. Board of Water Commissioners have a vacancy. Capital Planning Committee has a vacancy. Commission on Disabilities also has a vacancy. Cindy, can you chime in now with how many are on your committee?
Yes, we decided to set it at a 5-member committee. I think you guys, when you posted it, it's set at a 5-member committee. I'm the only member right now. So we are recruiting 4 more people. And one should be, 3 out of the 5 must be disabled. So we're looking primarily for people who have a disability, although you don't have to reveal it, just you have to have one. And one should be a town official, either elected or appointed, employee or what have you, but someone from the town should also volunteer to be on that commission.
You know what, Cindy, I knew I had it with me and I was looking for it because I actually got a whole bunch of information regarding recruitment and hiring of qualified individuals, which also means recruitment for the Disability Committee. You may already have all this information, but I'm happy to read the public notice for the vacancy. Commission on Disability, okay, this as far as the posting says, has 4 vacancies for 3-year staggered terms. The majority of said commission members shall consist of people with disabilities. 1 member shall be a member of the immediate family of a person with a disability. 1 member of said commission shall be either elected or appointed official of Townsend. Appointment is made by the Select Board with staggered 1, 2, 3-year staggered terms. Such commission shall research local problems of people with disabilities, 2, advise and assist municipal officials and employees in ensuring compliance with the state and federal laws and regulations that affect people with disabilities. 3, coordinate or carry out programs designed to meet the problems of people with disabilities or in coordination with programs of the Massachusetts Office on Disability. 4, review and make recommendations about policies, procedures, services, activities, and facilities of departments, boards, and agencies of said city or town as they may affect people with disabilities. 5, provide information, referrals, guidance, and technical assistance to individuals, public agencies, businesses, and organizations in all matters pertaining to disability. 6, coordinate activities of other local groups organized for similar purposes. The commission should consist of not less than 5 and not more than 13 members, and this is where Cindy has informed us that they have, she is a they, I guess, have decided on 5. We're hoping if we get that and you want to expand later, I'm sure you can do that. And the commission is governed by Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 8J, adopted at the annual town meeting on May 2nd, 2017. So thank you for all your efforts, Cindy, and I hope that we do get more people on that. We went over community, the Conservation Commission has a vacancy, Energy Committee has a vacancy, Historic District Commission has a vacancy. I didn't know that. Housing Authority representative has a vacancy. I think this is Housing Authority has a vacancy. So there's two vacancies on the Housing Authority. The Housing Representative is the one to the state.
Yeah.
Kids Country Playground Committee, well, still on here with a vacancy.
I thought we filled that. I thought we also filled the Historic District Commission, but,
This is the updated I got from Sabrina today.
okay.
Recycling Committee has a vacancy. I thought we also did that. Town Properties has two vacancies that are not sworn in, and they are the at-large. West Townsend Reading Room Committee. They have a vacancy, but what, do you have enough? Maybe we can't do that. We need to find out what's going on with the reading room. Zoning Board of Appeals has a full member vacancy. Zoning Board of Appeals has another full member vacancy. And Zoning Board of Appeals still has another associate member. They could use a lot more members on Zoning Board of Appeals.
I think also, something to check on, and maybe this should go to Sabrina, is I talked to Emmy today, and I think Recreation had someone that was written in, but has never shown up, and never was sworn in, so they.
Which one?
Recreation.
Oh,
They may
Were
have
they
vacancy.
sworn in?
I don't think the person ever actually,
Were they ever notified?
I believe so, but, so maybe Sabrina should check with Emmy, because I think there's one.
the letters go out from Sabrina for that.
Well, not when it's a write-in, but they don't.
Yeah,
Not
maybe
when
I'll
it's
check
an
with the town
elected
clerk.
Position.
I'll have
it's a
Emmy check with
write-in.
the town clerk.
Yeah, that would be the town clerk.
I can give you my whole folder on the Commission on Disability, which is the vacancy and all the documents I got. For your new position. Okay,
And Cindy, I'll get in touch about some people that maybe you could reach out to and see if they're interested, so.
yeah. Okay, Val, you're next. Legal notice of public hearing,
Yes, let
ZBA.
me pull that up, sorry. Okay. This is from the Zoning Board of Appeals, legal notice. In accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 9, and the Townsend zoning bylaw, the Townsend Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, November 19th, 2025 at 6:35 PM at the Town Hall, 272 Main Street, Townsend, Massachusetts, to consider the application of Addison Newt for a special permit under Townsend zoning bylaw 145-18 and 145-65 to authorize the use of 9 previously permitted motel units as long-term residential rental units at 159 Brookline Road, Assessors Map 38, Block 9, Lot 0, located in the outlying commercial district, OCD, and the Aquifer Overlay District. The application and plans are on file in the town clerk's office and may be inspected during regular business hours. Public comments may be made at the hearing or in writing prior to the hearing by email or request to zba@townsendmass.gov. Remote access via Zoom link. I'm sure you can get it.
We are not supposed to read that.
Yeah.
The link.
Victoria, correct? Am I pronouncing that right?
I'm not sure.
Chair, Zoning Board of Appeals, and published in the Groton Herald, October 31st and November 7th. And CC'd a whole bunch of departments and others.
Okay, thank you for reading that.
No problem.
Rail trail
Yeah,
info?
so, sorry, zooming in. The rail trail is inviting everybody to come help do an annual cleanup on the Squanicook River Rail Trail on Saturday, November 8th from 9 to 11 a.m. Meet at the Cherry Hill 2 parking lot. Please bring leaf rakes, gloves, and an optional leaf blower. Have fun working on our beloved trail and hear what's planned for the future. Families welcome. Rain date is the same time, Sunday, November 9th, so that'd be 9 to 11. Check the website at sqrrt.org for an update if it's rainy Saturday.
Nice. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, 6.4, your next meeting is November 19th, 2025, as we stated. I'm gonna say stay tuned for the time, because it may be earlier than the 6 PM that we thought, which is not uncommon. 6.5, Val?
Yes, I make a motion that we review and sign payroll and
Who are
base.
you?
I, Valerie Goodrich, make a motion that we review and sign payroll and bills payable warrants out of session.
Veronica Cal seconds.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffern, aye. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I would make a motion to adjourn the select board meeting at
Your name?
Sorry, I never say my name so many
No,
times.
you gotta say it.
I, Valerie Goodrich, make a motion to adjourn the select board meeting at 9:53 PM.
Veronica Cal second.
Okay, any discussion, any objection? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffern, aye.